content, okay? We're not doing anything for free. And let's be real, a lot of you guys are on these apps for hours. Don't lie. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, you are all over these apps. But you're not even getting paid to be here. That's unacceptable. Absolutely not. These apps are getting billions. So why are you not getting a piece of the pie? If you are creating content and you are not making income, that is a serious problem that we have to fix today, all right? Not tomorrow and not next week, not on Monday. It has to get fixed today. Time is of the essence. I also want you ladies to understand this. Good morning. You should be generating income while you are asleep, all right? We are building wealth. And you cannot do that if the only time you make income is when you're actively working for it. At some point, you're gonna wanna take a vacation. At some point, you're gonna wanna spend time with your family. At some point, you're gonna wanna do self-care, true or false. If you are not generating income while you are asleep, that is a serious problem that we have to fix today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not on Monday. It has to get fixed today. You keep putting stuff off and nothing is getting done. Ladies, you only need one digital product in your storefront. You only need one. See, a lot of you guys get hung up and y'all think you need about 50 ebooks in your store. Absolutely not. You only need one product. And that one product that you choose to create and sell will literally change your entire life. How the hell do I know that? Because my digital product business changed my life. You guys, I've been doing this full time for 6 years. I started during COVID, okay? And when I first started, you guys, I lost 100 pounds. That's a lot of weight. I was a very big woman. And on my weight loss journey, I learned how to eat right, I learned how to exercise, and most importantly, I fixed my mindset. So what I did was I took all of that information that I learned and put it in an ebook, one ebook. And I started selling it over and over and over again to other people who also wanted to learn how to lose weight too. And I sold it on YouTube, okay? So anything, and I literally mean anything that you want to sell, you can. But you wanna know the real problem? You are getting in your own way because you live in fear. On my life, fear stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what you've been doing. Let's be real. You have been running away from your brilliant ideas, your $1 million ideas for years, some of y'all decades, because you're so fearful of what people are gonna think. You're so fearful of failing. You're so fearful of people talking about you, and all of this fear that you refuse to let go of is stealing your dream life from you. Let's be real, because you've already manifested, right? You already know what side of town you want to live on. You already know what kind of car you want to drive. You already know what kind of vacations you want to take. You know how much money you want in your savings account. And most importantly, you know how much money you want to leave your children. You know all of the things. But every day that you don't run your business, every day that you don't post the content, every day that you procrastinate is another day that you could have been living that dream life of yours, but you make the choice not to. Ouch. For good morning. For those of you guys who have never seen my face before, my name is Coach Jazz, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to start your online business from scratch. But most importantly, we're going to be building up ourselves. Ladies, you get in your own way. We are the common denominator in our own life. We can't keep pointing the finger. That don't get you nowhere, now does it? Nope. See, you are holding yourself back. Your excuses, your procrastination, your lack of discipline and consistency, you are getting in your own way, and we have to fix you. A lot of you guys have no confidence, which is why you're so terrified of posting the content, because you don't even believe that you're worthy of it. We gotta fix you so that you can stop holding yourself back. Good morning, and so that you can finally get the results that you have always wanted. I'm gonna be giving you guys a lot of information this morning. It would be in your best interest to take notes. You better write it down. Because if I know anything about you, you're human, which means you're bound to forget, okay? If you take notes, if you write things down, you won't forget. Thank you so much. The key word of this live, ladies, is going to be execution. Let me turn the mirror on for you guys. The key word is going to be execution. You're going to hear me say this word about 10 million times this morning because I need it to stick in your pretty head. Psychology has proven the more you hear something, the better it sticks. And I need this word to stick because a lot of you guys are not executing. You buy course after course. True or false? And none of the courses are working for you. Why? Because you don't execute any of the things that you're taught. That's why. You're going to have to execute. That's the only way any of this is going to happen. Just like you execute your job to get that paycheck, you are going to have to start executing your business and your goals in order to get the results that you want. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? If I say anything this morning that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, go ahead and start double tapping the screen. Please like, comment, and share. YouTube, subscribe. Or YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. Also, make sure you guys thumbs up. I see 25 people on here and only 2 thumbs up. The math ain't mathin'. The more we interact with these lives, ladies, believe it or not, the more these platforms will push this live to more women who are tired of their own BS. They want to make money online too, but they don't realize that they're holding themselves back. And if they fixed who they were, then they would get the results that they want. So just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others, okay? If you have your pen and paper in hand and you are ready for class to begin, go ahead and put ready in the chat, because if you're ready to learn, I am ready to teach. And while I wait for somebody has to put ready in the chat, correct? While I wait for one person to put ready in the chat, I do want to ask you guys, ladies, be honest. When was the last time you put yourself first? When was the last time you said, okay, today, I know I have a crazy, hectic schedule, but today I am going to commit 30 minutes to my goals? Okay. Some of y'all like, girl, I'll never do that. And that's the problem. She said, I never do, coach. And that is the problem. Ladies, you are worthy too. Okay, your happiness is important too. And don't you dare tell me you don't have 30 minutes, because you do, because you are on these apps. Remember this, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. And a lot of times we lie to ourselves to soothe our ego, but that doesn't get you anywhere. You do have 30 minutes. And I need you to start saying to yourself, okay, I'm gonna commit 30 minutes today to doing X, Y, and Z because this is important to me. That's the only way it's gonna get done. Okay, I can't make this up. All right. She said habitually put everything else first. And that's the problem, Regina. We can't do that no more. We got to start putting ourselves first. We have to start prioritizing ourselves in our own life. That does not make you selfish. That makes you human. Okay. All right, let's get started. So what is a digital product and how will we build our business? Good morning. So a digital product, ladies, is something you don't have physical possession of. So think of a movie on Netflix. Think of a song on your Apple Music or Spotify. You don't physically have it in your possession, right? It's all out somewhere in the cloud, okay? You are going to create something to sell, and it can be anything. So please do not overthink. There's something that you already know how to do. And whatever that is, that's what you need to sell. I told you guys, good morning, when I first started, I lost 100 pounds. I was a very big woman, okay? And because I lost all of that weight, I was able to teach other people how to lose weight too. So anything that you know how to do, that's what you need to sell. And it does not have to be an ebook, by the way. You could do an e-course, you could do workbooks or journals, affirmation guides. Literally whatever you want to sell, you can sell, all right? Now, I'm going to give y'all 2 apps, good morning, and these apps will change your entire life if you use them, meaning you have to execute. So not only are you going to download it, you're going to open it up and you're going to use it, okay? All right, if you're ready for app number 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, make sure you guys like, comment, and share if I'm saying anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul. Also, make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos. They do make fake accounts, and then they're going to turn around and message you. Do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled on these TikTok streets. TikTok, they coming for you. YouTube, make sure you guys thumbs up the live. I see 10 people on here and 3 thumbs up. The math ain't math, and let me know that you are here, you are present, and you are ready to change your life. App number 1, write this down, Canva, C-A-N-V-A. App number 1, Canva. Do you have to set up the business? No, I want you to get started. The question was, do you have to set up the business before you start? No, absolutely not. Start the business, worry about the paperwork a little bit later. Canva, C-A-N-V-A. You will be using this app for everything, ladies. Everything, okay? So maybe you do want to create content. Canva has thousands of TikTok reel templates on there, get ready with me templates, all of the things. Canva, okay? Maybe you do want to start a YouTube channel. I tell you guys every day, get on YouTube and start your channel. Maybe today you want to listen. Canva has thousands of YouTube thumbnail templates on there. And ladies, the thumbnails are just those pictures that you see before you actually click on the video. This is what draws people's attention to your content in the first place. All of the YouTube creators, including myself, are getting them off of Canva. And it's very easy to use. You just drag and drop. Maybe you do want to create an ebook to sell, which is what I'm going to teach you how to make. Canva has thousands of templates on there to make your ebook look professional, branded, all of the things, okay? So please start using Canva like yesterday. Now, before we get into app number 2, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's living in fear. Earlier, I told you guys fear stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what you've been doing, child. You have been running away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea, because you are terrified of failing in all the things. And some of you guys are literally sitting here right now saying things to yourself like, Jazz, I would love to start an online business, but I'm not tech savvy. What if it's too late for me? Aren't I too old for this? Okay, well, before you run away like you always do, because you're infamous for that, just listen to me. First of all, what I want you to understand is this. You woke up this morning, okay? That's a blessing. Every day that you are blessed with another day means you were blessed with another opportunity to work towards your goals. Until you are 6 feet under, it is never too late. So use it. Number 2, you are very tech savvy, okay? I told you guys the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself because you are on these apps all day. You are liking, commenting, sharing, archiving, reposting. That takes tech savviness, true or false, okay? So you will use the same tech savviness that you already have and build your online business. And for my ladies on here who think they are too old, what did we say? We said we were going to monetize our knowledge. So if you are older, that means you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of wisdom, which means you have a lot of things that you can be selling. So get to selling, okay? All right. If you're ready for app number 2, put a 2 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. If I say anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. YouTube, thumbs up the live. I see you guys on here, but only 3 thumbs up. It's not making sense. Just double tap the screen for me. Let me know that you are here and that you are present. The more we interact with these lives, the more YouTube and TikTok will push these lives to more people. And believe it or not, there are a lot of women who are tired of their own BS. They're tired of starting and stopping too. They don't even realize they're getting in their own way. They have no clue. They're blaming everybody else. They have yet to blame themselves so they can change themselves. Hello. We are the common denominator in our own life. Don't you ever forget it. App number 2, ChatGPT. Write it down. You will be using this for everything, and this is AI. This is AI, okay? ChatGPT is going to put your life on easy mode. I can't make this up. Everything, and I mean everything that you need, ChatGPT got you covered, okay? So maybe you do want to create content, but you're just not too sure what kind of videos to make. Fine, ChatGPT will tell you. Maybe you do want to start a YouTube channel, but you're camera shy. You're just not too sure what to say. No worries. ChatGPT will script the entire video for you. Now all you got to do is say the words. And maybe you do want to write an ebook to sell, but you don't know what to put in the ebook. No worries. ChatGPT will write the entire ebook for you from beginning to end in under 30 seconds. Ladies, I cannot make this up. It has never, ever, ever been easier than today to start your online business. She said overthinking and waiting for everything to line up is execution killer, but it will never line up. It will never line up. And all you're doing is wasting time. It will never be perfect timing. You just have to start. ChatGPT has never made things easier for you. You have everything you need with AI and you're still not doing this. This is what I'm saying. You are getting in your own way. The things that you have going on in this pretty head of yours is the exact thing that is holding you back, and it is making you waste time. Time is your most valuable asset, ladies. Don't you ever forget it. Some of y'all think is money, and you are horribly mistaken. It is not money. It is time. Because at least if you lose money, you can make it again, true or false. But when you lose your time, you will never, ever, ever get any of that back. It is gone forever. Okay? So I gave you Canva and I gave you ChatGPT. Now we're going to put it together and write the ebook. If you're ready for prompt number 1, go ahead and put ready in the chat. If you are not taking notes, tis, shame on you, because how can we execute if you don't know what to do? Because I know you're going to forget. You always do. Lifes and stresses. But if you write it down, anything that I do say that you do forget, you can still refer back to those notes and get it done, okay? Good morning. You're going to open up ChatGPT. In the search, you're going to type this in, prompt number 1. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. If you've got that, please put got that in the chat. If you need for it to be repeated, this is the opportunity to ask. Remember, closed mouths do not get fed. YouTube, why am I on y'all this morning? Normally, y'all are the most active. I see 30 people on this YouTube live and only 3 thumbs up. The math is not mathing. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And while I wait for you guys to let me know that you got the prompt, I do want to ask you, when was the last time you told yourself that you're amazing? When was the last time you told yourself that you were smart, that you're resilient, that you're strong, that you're beautiful? Okay. Let me tell you what. The things that you have going on in your head is a reflection, what you have going on in your internal world, your mindset is going to always reflect in the external world. Okay? So meaning, if you don't speak to yourself positively, I know for a fact you don't have people around you who speak to you positively. If you got chaos going on in this head of yours, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell. Your internal world is always a reflection of your external. And if you do not say nice, positive things to yourself, you're not going to move like someone who thinks that they're strong, who thinks that they're beautiful, who thinks that they're capable. And that's the problem. How you speak to yourself determines how you show up for yourself, okay? So if you talk to yourself like shit, it's gonna be nothing but shit. I need you to start talking to yourself positively and start reminding yourself how amazing you are. And you may not believe it right away, but the more you say it, the more you do start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, you start to achieve it. So please, start speaking to yourself like you got some sense. Some of y'all say the nastiest things to yourself and then you wonder why you're not getting it done. Because look at how you talk to yourself. And then you think you're going to show up and do good things for yourself? No, you're not. I don't know what world you live in, but come back to reality. It all starts with how you speak to yourself. You need to make sure you are speaking your affirmations. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the only way you're going to start to build your confidence and your self-belief and your self-respect. Okay? All right. So nobody's got it. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solve a problem. You're going to hit enter. You're going to hit enter. Now, before we move forward, I need you guys to write this down. Write this word down and don't you ever forget it. This says consistent. This says consistent. Write this word down. And then I need you to underline it. And then I need you to circle it. Because starting this morning, today, you and I are going to lock in on the true definition of consistent. Because a lot of y'all are very confused. So I'm going to unconfuse you. See, some of y'all think consistent means Once in a while. Some of y'all think consistent means if you have time. No. Some of y'all think consistent means if you're not too tired. Absolutely not. Consistent means more often than not. So, if there are 7 days in a week, thank you, Zaya, consistent means 4 out of the 7. Ladies, you are going to have to be consistent if you want anything to work out for you. Just like you consistently go to the job to make sure you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, you are going to have to consistently show up for the business if you truly want a business. Now, some of y'all claim you want a business, but you don't really want one. It just sounds cool. If you truly want something to work for you, you are going to have to be consistent. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I lost 100 pounds. In order for me to have lost that 100 pounds, I had to consistently eat less food. I had to consistently move my body. 100 pounds of weight loss didn't just land in my lap. I didn't just wake up 100 pounds lighter. I had to consistently show up for the goal. Same applies to the business. You got to be consistent or it's not going to happen. Now, let's make consistency easy because life is hard enough, right? Life is lifing and stress is stressing and then bills is piling up. So let's make it easy to be consistent. Okay. I want you to understand this. I want you to go through that list that ChatGPT gave you and only choose ideas that you truly have a passion for. I want you to ask yourself, what is something that I would love to talk about all day, every day, if I could? And whatever that idea is, that's the business for you. Because when you do things that you actually like to do, it doesn't feel like work. And when things don't feel like work, now you look forward to doing it. This is also how we stop being so depressed and so upset with life. See, the problem is, in your 24 hours of your day, there is nothing in your day that you have scheduled that makes you happy. You go to work, you come home, you take care of your family, you go to bed, and you repeat it. Nowhere in that 24 hours did you do anything that you truly looked forward to, which is why you feel depressed. Anybody would. I used to feel depressed too, because nothing in your day was for you. But when you choose a business idea that you really have a passion for, something that you truly love to do, now you have something to look forward to every day. Now you're excited because it's what you truly love. So please do yourself a favor and only pick ideas that you truly like. Now, if ChatGPT gave you 10 ideas and you don't like none of the ideas it gave you, fine, just ask for 10 more and keep asking until it gives you something you want to use. This is how we're gonna make things easy to be consistent, all right? Let me ask you this. For my ladies on here who live a healthy lifestyle, you eat healthy foods, you move your body, isn't it so much easier to eat healthy foods when you eat healthy foods that you actually like? See, I hate watermelon. Watermelon is nasty. I don't know how y'all eat it. The smell is disgusting and it tastes even nastier. I would never be able to consistently eat my fruits if I was forcing myself to eat watermelon. I hate it. But I love blueberries. I love pineapples. I love strawberries. So those are the fruits that I eat because I truly like them. So it's easy for me to eat my fruits every day. Okay? Okay. Now, one more thing. That's how we're going to make it easy to be consistent. One more thing I need you guys to write down, and this is critical. If you don't remember shit else I say on this live, I need you to remember this. Good morning. Money flows where energy goes. Write that down. Money flows where energy goes. I'm going to say that one more time. Money flows where energy goes. Okay. If you're anything like who I used to be, you are giving all of your energy away. All of your energy. You're just giving it away. You're an energy vending machine. You are giving all of your energy to your spouse, partner, sneaky link. You are giving all of your energy to your children. You are giving all of your energy to your family. You are giving all of your energy to your job and your coworkers. You're giving all of your energy to your friends. You're giving all of your energy to the news. You're giving all of your energy to social media and celebrity gossip. And by the time you sit down to do something for yourself, you can't because you ain't got no energy left because you gave it all away. And now you feel drained, you feel frustrated, you feel resentment, you feel depressed because you keep giving all of your energy away. And most of these people that you are giving all of your energy to are grown-ass adults who are able and who are capable and who are not reciprocating it back to you. Because if they were truly reciprocating the energy back, you wouldn't feel drained. It would be reciprocity. You give, they take, they give, you take. But that's not what's going on here. You're doing all the giving and you are not receiving anything back. That's a problem. That's a problem. So, starting today, you are going to reel that energy on in. And you are going to start keeping energy for yourself. And you're going to do that by telling people no. And no is a complete sentence. It does not need to be explained. No. The answer is no. No. I cannot give you rides. That is time I could be spending on my business. No, I cannot loan you any money. That is money I could be spending on my business. No, I cannot sit here and listen to you talk about your problems. Should I gotta fix my own? Go hire a counselor and talk to them. The answer is no. The answer is no. It does not make you a bad wife because you want to work on a business. It does not make you a bad mother because you want to do something for yourself for once. And it does not make you a bad friend because you don't want to sit there and listen to her problems. It makes you human. Your happiness is important too. You matter too. And when you start telling people no, you start saying yes to yourself. And now you have the energy to show up for yourself consistently and work towards your goals because now you are making yourself a priority in your own life. Money flows where energy goes. When you start giving more energy to you, the money flows right behind it. Don't you ever forget that. Okay? All right, cool. Now, once you choose digital product idea you want to use, you will type this in the chat. Good morning. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Thank you, Grandma. If you've got that, put got that in the chat. If you need for it to be repeated, this is the opportunity to ask good morning. And remember, you guys, the keyword of this live is execution. How can we execute if you don't remember what we're going to be doing? Because if I know anything about you, you are human, which means you're gonna forget. You always do. So write it down so when you forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. Also, if I'm saying anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, double tap the screen, like, comment, and share the live. The more we interact with this live, ladies, the more this live will get pushed to more people. And believe it or not, there are a lot of women who don't even realize they're holding themselves back. They don't have a clue. They think it's everybody else. No, it is you. It's the things you have going on in this pretty head of yours that is keeping you stuck. It's your excuses, your lack of discipline, your lack of confidence, your lack of follow through, your lack of self-prioritization. These are all things that you are doing to yourself that's preventing you from reaching the goals that you have. You can go ahead and buy more courses. Go right on ahead. Some of y'all are course addicts. You buy course after course after course, but you haven't done the one thing that will change your entire life, which is change you. You haven't even began to change you. That's the real problem. Okay? All right? You're going to hit enter. Now, this is what I mean by it has never been easier than today to build your online business, because ChatGPT literally wrote the ebook for you. It wrote it. Now all you have to do is copy and paste. That's it. You will literally copy what ChatGPT gave you, and you will paste it into your Canva template. So open up the Canva app, in the search, type in ebooks, hit enter. It's going to give you thousands of templates. Pick your most favorite one. They are all 1000% customizable, okay? You will copy and paste literally from word to word. Now, for my ladies on here who love to overthink, and you know who you are. You overthink from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed every single day, and it's not getting you anywhere. It's keeping you stuck. I need you to write this down. KISS, K-I-S-S. This is an acronym that stands for Keep It Simple, Silly. Keep it simple, silly, okay? All I need you to do is make sure that your ebook is clean, simple, legible. That is it. Clean, simple, legible. That's it. You will copy and paste. Once you are done copying and pasting, you will, and you love the way it looks, you will download it as a PDF file. Good morning. You will download it as a PDF file. Good morning, good morning. When you have finished downloading it, you will upload it to your hosting site. I hope y'all are taking notes. Write this down. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, and Shopify. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. These are some of the most popular hosting sites. Good morning. And you only need to put your product on one of these. Yes, there are plenty more, but these are just some of the most popular ones. And it only needs to be on one, not all 5. If you've got all of this, please put got that in the chat. Let me know that you are here and that you are present. And while I wait for some got that's, let me tell you something that I have noticed about us human beings. We love to stay in our comfort zone, child. We love our comfort zone. We have become attached to our comfort zone. And what is our comfort zone? Our comfort zone is what we do every single day. It is our routine. It is our habits. It's the way we think. That is our comfort zone. Everything that you do every single day, that is your comfort zone. But notice how that comfort zone that you refuse to leave is draining you. Notice how it's depressing you. Notice how the routine and the habits and the people you keep around you frustrates you. It causes you depression. It's making you anxious. It has you resentful. It has all these negative things associated with this comfort zone. And even though it brings you nothing but negativity, you still make the choice every single day to stay there than to take a half an inch out of your comfort zone and do something just a little bit different today. Why do we do that? Because it's familiar. But you know what? There is no growth in your comfort zone, okay? You don't change in your comfort zone. You only change and you only get the results that you want when you take a half an inch out of the comfort zone. Listen, I lost 100 pounds. I wasn't going to lose 100 pounds by eating Chick-fil-A every day. That's what I was used to. That's what I was familiar with. That's what I loved. But that also was bringing me high blood pressure. That was also bringing me pre-diabetes. It wasn't until I took a half an inch out and did something a little bit different, like going on a walk, eating some fruits and vegetables, where I actually started to change my life. Ladies, you are going to have to get out that comfort zone of yours, because there's no growth there. And I want you to understand this. Stress is a silent killer. And a lot of you guys have been stressed for a very long time. That comfort zone of yours that you refuse to leave is killing you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Every day you have a choice, whether you want to believe it or not. You can either choose to keep doing what you've been doing, or you can choose to do something a little bit different today. You do have a choice, okay? All right, get out that comfort zone. Now back to our hosting sites. I use Stan Store and I love Stan. Stan is great, but Stan is very expensive. Okay, Stan Store is $99 a month. That is very, very high if your business is not making that yet. Okay, if you're brand new to all of this, you're just getting started, great, but Stan Store is not for you. Instead, I want you to start on Gumroad. Gumroad. Because Gumroad only charges you a percentage when you make a sale. They charge you 10% for every sale. So until you make money, you don't have to spend it. That is a great place to start, okay? Now, what I know about you is this. You're gonna make money because you're taking notes, you're asking questions, and most importantly, you're going to execute, meaning you're gonna do what we're talking about. So when you do start making money, transfer everything over to Stan Store later, because Stan Store has a lot of features that will help you expand your business, like Afterpay and Klarna. Let me tell you what's going on in the world of finance today, in case you didn't know. Buy now, pay later, taken over. It is taken over. And buy now, pay later includes Klarna, Sezzle, Afterpay, they got QuadPay, Affirm, PayPal has something, ZipPay. There's so many buy now, pay later options. Buy now, pay later is the most preferred option, meaning people are using those more than credit cards. And no, it's not just poor people, so get that out your head. Six-figure earners are using it too. Everybody's using it. Why do you think they put it on DoorDash? Why do you think they put it on Uber Eats? Because everybody is using it. That is why. And if you have a buy now, pay later option on your site, I promise you, you will make more. But for now, you will start with what you have. You will start on Gumroad, you will build your business, and then you can transfer everything over to Stan Store later. Okay? Now, what we just did was we made the ebook. We took Canva, we took ChatGPT, we put it together, we wrote it, and then we downloaded it and uploaded it to our hosting site. That's what we did. Now we have to sell it. We got to sell it, ladies, and I'm going to be honest with you. Sales is 80% of the business. That's more than half. So we have got to get sales right, or there will not be a business, okay? But before we get into sales, I need to make something crystal clear to you. Good morning, Phyllis. That process of copying and pasting and making that ebook should not take you longer than 2 hours. 2 hours. Honestly, it shouldn't take you longer than 1, but I will give you grace and I'm gonna give you 2. And honestly, I don't care how old you are. On this live, age ain't nothing but a number. I don't give a damn. Because what you're not going to do is try to convince me that it takes longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words. No, it does not. You are copying and pasting reels back and forth in the group chats. So I know for a fact you know how to copy and paste. If it is taking you longer than 2 hours, we have a serious problem that you and I have got to fix today. One of the problems that you might be experiencing, and I used to be guilty of this too, this is how I know. You want to be perfect, right? Everything about you just must be perfect or it's not right. You're a perfectionist, meaning you are going to waste 6 months of your life that you will never get back just to second guess your greatness and overthink your brilliant idea and your $1 million idea. Then when you do decide to finally get started, you're going to take things out, put things back, get frustrated and irritated because it's still not perfect, and then give up on it again. Then you're going to let 3 more months go by that you do not get back just to waste your time overthinking some more. And when you decide to get started yet again, this time what you're gonna do is go ask 20 people what they think you should do with your business. And the crazy thing is, these people that you're asking, they're not even business owners. These aren't even people that you would trade lives with. But for some reason, you care so much about what people think of you. And then when they do give you their opinion, you listen and you care. Next thing you know, a whole year has gone by and you ain't did shit but waste your precious, valuable time that you will never, ever, ever get back. Bless your hearts. Bless your hearts. Okay, well, I've been there and I've done that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes that's just what I do best. But I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this to you. Just know I'm saying it out of love. Ma'am, you are not perfect. I said it. I said it. You are not perfect at all. You are flawed. I am not perfect at all. I am flawed. Nobody is perfect at all. And everybody is flawed. See, what you really are is scary. You are still living in fear. And what do we say? Fear on this live stands for fuck everything and run. And that's what you've been doing. You have been running for years. Some of y'all have been sitting on these brilliant ideas of yours for years because you are terrified of failing. You are terrified of looking stupid. You are terrified of people talking about you. And all of this fear that you refuse to let go of is stealing your dream life from you. Yes, it is stealing it from you. Because let's be real, you've already manifested. You've already done the vision board. You know exactly what you want your life to look like. You know what kind of car you want to drive. You know what side of town you want to live on. You know what vacations you want to take with your children. You know how much money you want in your savings account. You know what kind of freedom you want. You know all of the things already. You already know. But every day that you don't live like that, because you're holding on to this fear, is another day that fear is stealing that from you. And if you want to dig even deeper as to why we hold on to all of this fear in the first place, it's because we're self-sabotaging. That's what all of this is. This is self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself. This is self-inflicted. That's why I keep telling you, it is you getting in your own way. And the reason why we self-sabotage is because you have a fragile ego, and your ego is terrified of feeling disappointed if it doesn't work. If you put all of your eggs into this basket, if you try something new, if you give it all you got, and it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, that feeling of disappointment scares the shit out of you. So you self-sabotage to avoid feeling disappointed if it doesn't work. Because you're trying to protect yourself from feeling disappointed. So you'll say you're busy, you're too busy, but you're really not. But you'll self-sabotage and convince yourself that you're too busy, because if you let go of that excuse and if you actually use the time that you did have and you tried it, and if it doesn't work, no, you're terrified of feeling disappointed. So you'll self-sabotage by saying, I'm too busy. You're not too busy. You're just self-sabotaging. You'll self-sabotage and you'll hold on to toxic relationships that drain you, that deplete you, that steals your confidence from you. Because if you truly let go of that relationship, if you broke up with that toxic man, if you let go of that toxic friendship, well, now you don't have anyone destroying your confidence and making you feel less than, which means you could actually get the shit done, but you're so terrified of if it doesn't work, so you'll say, well, I love him, and we've been together for 20 years, and that's my best friend, I can't leave her. That's just self-sabotage, because if you let those relationships alone, I promise you would get the results that you want. You would actually elevate. But you'll self-sabotage and say, no, I can't. This is all self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself because you are terrified of being disappointed. But I am extremely confused, because earlier you said you hate your job. Earlier you said you were tired of starting and stopping. You said that you were tired of giving up on yourself. You said that you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. You said that you were tired of being insecure. These are the things that you said. But every day that you live like that is another day that you're still living in disappointment, because there's still things about your life that you're not 1000% happy with. See, I'm trying to help you fix it, but we cannot fix it if we do not change. You're gonna have to change. How can we bring more money into the house and stop living paycheck to paycheck if we don't have a product to sell? How can customers buy our stuff if there's no stuff? They can't. They can't. How can we build our confidence and start feeling better about ourselves if we keep breaking the promises that we made to ourselves? You can't. You can't. So, we're gonna have to change it. You are going to have to launch the product as is. And I need you to understand and understand that it will never be perfect. You are chasing something that doesn't even exist. It will never be perfect. But understand this, the more you do something, the better you get. The more content you post, the better the content gets. The more products you launch, the better your products will get. The longer you run your business, the better the business will get. But it will still never be perfect. But the more you show up, the more consistent you are, the better you will get. All of your favorite businesses that you spend your hard-earned money on today have gotten better along the way. Look at Netflix. Believe it or not, Netflix did not always have a fancy app. Nope. They damn sure weren't doing comedy specials with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. No. They didn't have their own production company making movies and TV shows that are now winning Emmys and Oscars. And they damn sure didn't always have wrestling on pay-per-view. No, absolutely not. Years ago, before COVID, you used to have to go on their website, Netflix.com. You had to make a list of the movies you wanted to see. It was your favorites list. And these were movies that were once in theaters. These were not their originals. They would mail you a DVD off of the list. You could watch the DVD as many times as you wanted. And when you were ready for the next movie, you had to mail that one back. They didn't wait for the latest, fanciest technology. They launched with what they had and what they could afford. And the longer they ran their business, the more customers they got. And when they got more customers, they made more money. And when they made more money, they were able to invest it and make the business better. But it's still not perfect. We all still got complaints. So, I don't know why you believe that you can skip the messy middle. But all of our favorite businesses had a messy middle. Amazon, Tesla, Netflix. These are all billion-dollar companies. So, I'm gonna need you to reel that ego on in and understand that if they had a messy middle, you will too. But you will always get better. the longer you keep going. Another reason why it might be taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words is because you are distracted as fuck. I already know that I am not the life coach for everybody. I am not the business coach for everybody because, believe it or not, most people don't really want solutions to their problems. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Most people are just looking for someone that they can complain and vent to. But the minute you present them with the solution, they turn away because they weren't really looking to fix anything. I'm not here for that shit. No, I'm not. I am here to tell you the truth about yourself so that we can fix it. We can't fix it if you're not aware with what you're doing. So I gotta make you aware. Listen, when you get off of work, you could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you make to yourself so that you can finally have some confidence in yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the phone and gossip with your friends about celebrities and their drama. When you do have time off from work, like the weekends, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping the promises that you made to yourself so you can finally have some confidence in yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix and Hulu for hours. Late at night, when your children are asleep, you could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you made to yourself so you can finally believe in yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to scroll social media for hours, laughing and sending funny videos back and forth in the group chats. And the reason why we hold on to all of these distractions, gambling, drinking, gossiping, all of these distractions that we hold on to is escapism. We are trying to escape. And the reason that we're trying to escape is because there's things about our life that we are not 1000% happy with. And instead of you being a grown woman and fixing it, you make the choice to run from it. Now let me ask you, how is that going? Have you outrun your problems yet, or are they still there? I don't know you yet. I haven't had a conversation with you. I just want you to be honest with yourself for once. Is that working? Is what you're doing working? Because if the answer is no, then that means we got to change some things. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So if it's not working, then that means it is time to change. That means it's time to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something different. Instead of trying to escape a life that you're not 1000% happy with, what if we just lock in and build a life that we never feel the need to escape from? Let's do that. So, this is what you're going to do today, not tomorrow, not Monday, not 2027, today. You are going to turn the TV off. Put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Tell your friends you will talk to them later. You are building your dream life. You're going to sit down at home. No, you don't need to go to Starbucks because you get distracted there. You're going to start your ebook and then you're going to finish it. Not start, stop, come back next week because we already know how you do. You ain't coming back. You don't never come back. You're going to start it and you're going to finish it. 2 hours is all you need. If we are crystal clear on all of those instructions, then please put clear in the chat. Let me know that we are clear because respectfully, there is no point in even talking about sales if you don't have anything to sell. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning, happy Tuesday. My name is Coach Jazz, and we are building our online business, but most importantly, we are building ourselves. If I say anything that resonates with our spirit, with your spirit, and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen, like, comment, and share. Thank you, Maya. The more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives out to more people. Okay, so I told you guys a few minutes ago, sales is 80% of the business. 80. That is more than half. So we've got to get sales right, or there won't be a business. And I'm gonna be honest, most people fail at sales. They fail here, okay? Not at the product creation part. That's why you'll see so many people with ebook after ebook, but if you ask them how many sales they got, they ain't made none because they fail at sales, okay? But not for the reasons that you may think. See, some of y'all are terrified of sales because you say things to yourself like, well, Jazz, I'm not a salesperson. What if I talk about my product too much and people unfollow me? What if people think I'm being annoying? What if people think I'm begging them for money? Okay. This mindset that you have about sales is what makes sales so hard for you and what makes sales so hard for other people. So in order to sell something, we first got to clear all this nonsense up. First and foremost, understand this. Selling is not begging. You are not begging anyone for anything. So get that out of your head. People have a problem and you have a solution. That's it. That is literally it. So stop saying that. Number two, you don't have a choice but to remind people of your products and services and how you can help them, because people will forget. Ladies, everybody is living their own life, okay? Life is life, and stress is stressing for everybody. And people are being bombarded with content from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed every single day. You have to remind people about your products and services and how you can help them so that they can even remember, or they will forget. Why do you think I keep telling you guys to take notes? I keep telling you over and over again, write it down, write it down. Why? Because I already know you're gonna forget. I already know this. Why do you think I keep repeating myself and telling you guys that the key word of this live is execution? You have heard me say that word time and time again. Why do I keep repeating myself? Because I need it to stick in your pretty head. Psychology has proven the more you hear something, the more it sticks. And I need you to remember that you have to execute. That's why I keep repeating myself. Ladies, people are extremely forgetful because they are running their own lives. They got their own things going on. You have to remind them. That is the only way that they're even going to begin to remember. Look at Amazon. We all know who they are. We all got the memo. And most of us are Prime members, meaning we pay a monthly subscription to utilize 2-day, 1-day, and same-day shipping. And even though everyone knows who Amazon is, and most of us spend money with them every single month, they still remind you consistently that they exist. How? Look at their Amazon trucks. You can't even go 2 miles down the street without seeing one of their trucks. They didn't have to paint them blue and put their logo on it. They could have left them white. But they did it for a reason. Why? Because every time you see one of their trucks, your brain thinks Amazon. You can't even go 2 miles down the street you can't even go into a neighborhood without seeing Amazon packages everywhere. You can't even enter a mail room without seeing Amazon packages everywhere. Why? They could have left those cardboard boxes blank. They didn't have to put their logo on it, but they did it for a reason. So that every time you see one of their packages, which is every day, your brain thinks Amazon. Now let me ask you, be honest, do you really think they're sitting there worried about you thinking that they're being annoying? Do you really think they're worried about you unsubscribing from Prime because they're talking about Amazon too much? Do you really think they're worried about you thinking that they're begging you for money? Girl, please. No. Why? Because they know they have a solution to your problem. They know you're lazy and they know you want convenience and they got you covered. So they will continue to remind you every day that they exist and you will continue to give your hard-earned money to them. True or false? For those of you guys who have seen my face before, maybe I'm not new face to you. I have been on the internet for 6 years. You might have found me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I am all over the internet. How is it that I'm able to show up consistently talking about Glow Up Academy without worrying about people thinking I'm being annoying? How am I able to do that? Because I know I have a solution to people's problems. People want to build their confidence. They want to follow through and believe in themselves. I work with them inside of Glow Up Academy every single day. Women want to learn how to grow their online business and not care what people think. I teach them how, all inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to become disciplined. They want to be consistent. They want to truly change their lives and not just talk about it, but actually walk the walk. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. I'm not worried about who thinks I'm begging them for money. If people unfollow me because I'm being annoying, fine, that's okay. They just weren't ready to have a life coach because they didn't want to be held accountable, and that's fine. When they truly are ready to change their life, they'll come back. They always do. And because I have that energy about my products and services, I sell, and I sell a lot. Because Amazon has that energy with their products and services, they sell, and they sell a lot. And if you want to sell a lot too, you are going to have the same energy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay? All right. If you're ready for sales tip number 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Good morning, good morning. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, my name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business from scratch. If I'm saying anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. The more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives out to more people. Good morning, good morning. Found you on YouTube last week. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. I do want to address, you said, I love your lives. So happy when you're able to catch them. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do want to address the elephant in the room real quick. Good morning, Lauren, which is failing. So many of you guys have amazing goals. I hear you. Your goals are amazing. Your ideas are amazing. But that word failing keeps you in a chokehold. You're so afraid to start. You're so afraid to follow through because you are terrified of failing. But what if I told you that most of you guys are extremely confused on what failing even means? So, let me go ahead and unconfuse you. Lauren said that's me. Let me go ahead and enlighten you. See, some of you guys think failing means you launch or you post your first YouTube video, and if you don't get 50,000 subscribers in 7 days, then you failed. Some of y'all are really out here thinking that if you launch your first ebook and you're not a millionaire by the end of the month, then you failed. And some of y'all are really out here thinking that if you make your first TikTok video, if you maybe you posted 7 TikTok reels and you don't get 10,000 views on each reel, then you failed. But that's not failing. See, failing only exists when you quit. When you throw in the towel and you say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I give up. I quit. Well, then that is when you have officially failed. But if every single day, whether you got 20 minutes or 2 hours, I don't give a damn. If every single day you just do something towards the goal, you just show up, even when you don't feel like it, even if you feel like it's not gonna work, you still show up and you still try. You're still committed. That's not failing because you're still giving it everything you got. See, the reason why people fail is because they give up. And the reason why people give up, let me tell you the truth, is because you're entitled. This is entitlement. People today have become so entitled, and you have been living in this sense of entitlement for so long that you don't even recognize how entitled you really are. See, what you have done is you have pulled a number out of thin air, and you have convinced yourself that this is when the results are supposed to come because you said so. That's entitlement. You have convinced yourself that you should be a millionaire in 30 days because you feel entitled to that time frame of 30 days. And if it did not happen in 30 days, well, now you feel like you're failing, but you are really just entitled because my question is, who the hell told you it only takes you 30 days to become a millionaire? Where did you get that from? Who told you that you only have to post 1 or 2 YouTube videos to get 50,000 subscribers? Who told you that? Who told you that you only have to post a few TikTok videos to get 10,000 views? Where did you get that from? That is some entitled ass mentality. That's just me being real. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. That is entitlement. You have set these unrealistic timelines of when you think something is supposed to happen because you feel entitled to it. But let me tell you this, the results always come. They always come. The results that you are looking for always come. Listen, I lost 100 pounds. Anyone who has lost any amount of weight can attest to this. Be honest. If you just keep eating less food and you just keep moving your body, don't you eventually get to your goal weight? Yeah. When you let go of all the excuses when it comes to weight loss and you just count your calories every day and you just make sure you're active most days, you always get to that goal weight. You want to know why people don't get to their goal weight? Because they give up, because they felt entitled to losing 50 pounds in 7 days. That's the real truth. That's the truth. They felt entitled to that weight loss goal in that bizarre timeline. So if the results always come, then there's no reason to worry about failing. Because if you don't quit, then you didn't fail. So for everyone on here who wants to do something, they have this goal, but they're terrified of failing, just don't quit. Because if you don't quit, then you didn't fail. And now you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay? Okay, very good. Sales tip number 1, good morning. Content is king and distribution is queen. Content is king and distribution is queen. So let's break this down so it makes sense. All right, let's start with the content is king part. And make sure you guys are taking notes so that you can still execute when you forget, because you always forget, so write it down, okay? Content is king. So content, you guys, is just anything that you post to social media. So pictures, reels, if you go live, long form YouTube videos, anything that you upload is considered content. And the content is how we're gonna get the word out about our products and services. This is how we're going to tell people how we can help them through our content. And content is king because we already said people are extremely forgetful. You're forgetful, I'm forgetful, we're all forgetful. So we have to be consistent with posting our content to remind people. That's why content is king. Now, one thing I want to stress the importance of is not allowing yourself to feel overwhelmed. I work with my students every single day to get them to not be overwhelmed, because the minute you start to feel overwhelmed is the minute you freeze. because you now have this long list of to-dos in your head and you're like, oh my God, I don't know where to start. And then you don't do anything because you feel overwhelmed. So please remember this. We are always going to crawl before we walk, and we're going to walk before we run. Stop trying to go full throttle. Stop trying to do the most craziest all or nothing mindset, because that's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to burn out, okay? Maybe you're not posting content at all right now because you are camera shy. All right. If you're camera shy, this is what I want you to do. First, I want you to sit in front of your camera, your phone, multiple times a day, recording yourself, whether you want to do 30-second increments, 5-minute increments, 10-minute increments. I don't give a damn. But I want you to do it multiple times a day, not to post. This is just for you to get comfortable with being in front of the camera, because I told you the more you do stuff, the better it gets. So the only way you're going to get out of your camera shyness is by being in front of the camera. That's the only way you're going to get out of it. You can't manifest your way out of it. You have to do it, okay? So multiple times a day. Like I said, you can do 30 seconds here and there. You can do 2 minutes here and there. And don't you dare tell me you don't have time, because the time that you are spending on social media is the time you could be doing this. So don't even do it. Once you become comfortable with being in front of the camera, you don't feel awkward, you don't feel cringe. Now we're going to commit to posting one 30-second TikTok video a day. Not a day, a week. One a week. Once you get comfortable with that, we're going to up it to 2 times a week. Then 3 times, so on and so forth. Okay? And that's how we're going to get this done. So remember, we're going to crawl before we walk and walk before we run. And for those of y'all who want to be faceless, but you still have to talk. If you feel like you sound crazy or you don't know what to say, you're still going to not post content consistently, whether you're faceless or not. So if you are faceless, you still have to get comfortable with talking to the phone. So you're going to record your audios multiple times a day, not to post, but just to get comfortable and let yourself flow and be yourself without feeling cringe or awkward, okay? Now, the distribution is queen part. Not only are we going to work on posting content consistently, we also need to be building at least 3 platforms. Good morning. Because, well, why 3? 1 is too close to none. That's why. Like that one income you have at that one job. Ladies, if they laid you off tomorrow, what would you do? You would be freaking out, trying to figure out how you're going to pay them bills. If you put all of your eggs in a TikTok basket and the U.S. decides to ban it, like they did last year, what would you do? You would be freaking out, like all of the other TikTokers who only had a TikTok account. I teach my students we have got to stay proactive so we are not reactive. In other words, we have to stay ready. So we have to build multiple platforms. And no, it is not hard to build 3. The same exact video that you post on TikTok, you'll throw it on Instagram, YouTube Shorts. I don't care where you put it. It takes an extra 5 minutes. I do it all day. I promise you it's not hard. Now, which platforms should you grow? Well, I always suggest starting with the platform that you're always on. So if you find yourself on TikTok all the time, start TikTok. Obviously, you like this app so much because you're always here. And then just choose 2 more. But I do want to remind you, in case you didn't know, YouTube is the most watched platform. It's not TikTok. YouTube has even replaced cable TV. There are more people watching YouTube than any other platform. So I'm going to always urge and encourage you to start a YouTube channel. If everybody is watching YouTube, why are you not on YouTube? Make it make sense. The math ain't mathin'. Start your YouTube channel. A lot of people love long form content. I love long form videos. Honestly, I can't stand short form. You can't understand the point of the video unless you allow the person to elaborate. I love YouTube. So start your YouTube channel, okay? Now, before we get into sales tip number 2, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's still holding on to fear. She is still holding on. We said fear on this live stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what she's about to do. She's about to swipe up. Now she's listening. She's taking her notes. She's probably a little quiet, not saying too much. Hi, Denise. She's not saying too much, but in the back of her head, she is fearful. And she's saying things like, Jazz, girl, I would love to start an online business. It sounds amazing, but I don't know. You're telling me to post content consistently. You're telling me to build 3 platforms. You're telling me to make an ebook. Girl, I don't know. This just sounds really hard, and I don't think I can do this. Okay. Well, before you run away, like you always do, just listen. She said, my fight or flight is telling me to scroll out right now. Listen to me. First, what I want you to understand is this. I can't convince you of anything. Hi, Joy. I don't have the power to convince you of anything, and I'm not going to try. So if you want to believe that posting content consistently is hard, then fine. Your feelings are valid. You're right. It's hard. If you want to believe that having AI write your ebook for you is hard, then fine. Okay. You're right. It's hard. If you want to believe that building 3 platforms is hard, then fine. It's hard. But I do want to remind you, the life that you're currently living is hard. Crying every day because you are so stressed out about bills is hard. Robbing Patrice to pay Paula, making payment arrangement after another payment arrangement is hard. Dragging yourself to a job that makes you miserable is hard. Knowing deep down inside in your soul that there is something better for you, you can feel it, but you're not living it yet, is hard. And I want to remind you that you live like that every single day. And see, that's what fear will do. Fear will convince you that you can't do any of this. Meanwhile, look at what you're already doing. That's 30,000 times harder than this. And you let fear convince you of that every day. And one thing that I've noticed as women, I used to do this too, we have a toxic tendency to never, ever, ever give ourselves credit where credit is due. When was the last time you told yourself that you were proud of you? That you were proud of everything that you've accomplished, everything that you've endured? Some of y'all don't even know. You have no clue. Some of y'all have never told yourself how proud you are of you, which is crazy because look at the things that you have overcome. Life's for everybody. Okay, stress is for everybody. And we have all had moments in life that were hard. We were in our darkest moments and we had no clue how we were going to overcome it. No clue. But here you are today. You overcame it. You overcame it. You have already proven to yourself how strong you really are. You have already proven to yourself how resilient you really are. And despite everything that you've overcome, you're going to let fear convince you that you can't do this? I remember when I lost my grandma, my whole world turned upside down. I had no clue how I was going to live life without her. She literally raised me. And when I went off to college, I used to call her 3 and 4 times a day because I missed her so much. And when she died, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, how am I going to live life without my grandma? But here I am, 10 years later, still living life without her. Look at everything that you've overcome. And you're going to let fear convince you that you can't copy and paste what AI wrote you into a Canva template? Really, ladies? Really? Look at everything you've overcome. And you're going to let fear convince you that you don't have the abilities to record a 30-second TikTok video and upload it? Really, ladies? Really? Look at everything you've overcome. And you're going to let fear convince you that you don't have the capabilities of taking a reel that you posted on TikTok and then posting it on Instagram and then Facebook all under 5 minutes? Really? That's what we're doing? And this is why I keep stressing the importance of confidence and lack thereof, because it's a confidence thing. It really is. This is a lack of confidence. You are so strong. You are so resilient. But because you lack confidence in self, you don't think you can do any of this. But look at what you've already done. And listen, I don't have to convince you of this because you can see this for yourself. There are people on these apps who are in worse off situations than you, still showing up, building their business. There are women on these apps with more children than you, still showing up, building their business. There are people on these apps who are always in the hospital. Cancer patients, sickle cell anemia, and despite everything they got going on right now, every day, they are still showing up, building their business. There are people on these apps who are down and out right now. They are in their darkest moments. They lost their job. Some of them are living in their car. And despite the weight of the world on their back right now, they are still showing up, building their business. Now let's go ahead and be real for 2 seconds. Some of y'all don't have half those problems. And some of y'all might, and I'm gonna give you grace, but some of y'all don't. Some of y'all are sitting pretty. Yeah, you got some complaints. It's not perfect. Of course, there are things you want to change, but you know deep down inside it could be 20 times worse. So what's your excuse? What's your excuse? You don't have one. That's the truth. You don't have one. You can do this. You see people every day doing it. The only difference between them and you is they let go of fear and you are still holding on to it. But that fear that you are holding on to is stealing your dream life from you because you already know what side of town you want to live on. You know what kind of house you want to provide for your family. You know how much money you want in your savings account. You know how much money you want to leave your children. And every day that you don't live like that is because you chose to let fear steal it from you. Listen, my online business changed my whole life. I can't make this up. I've been doing this full time since COVID, back in 2020, so 6 years. Made more money than I ever could have imagined, all from my cell phone, a laptop, and some Wi-Fi. I have peace now. You can't even put a price tag on that. Not stressing about how my bills are gonna get paid. I have purpose now. I get to wake up every single day doing what I love to do. I have freedom now. I get to do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. I have happiness now. I have confidence now. I really believe in myself. But before all of this, before COVID, girl, I lived a very different life. See, I used to be depressed, extreme anxiety. I used to be miserable. I was 100 pounds overweight. I worked a 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated. And to top it all off, I used to be an alcoholic. See, I had bought into the American dream bullshit that they sell everybody. But I bought in back in high school. They told me to go to college, and they said that once I graduate, once I get my 4-year degree, I'll be able to get a good job with benefits and stability. I'll make more than enough money where I could provide for myself. I'll be able to take a few vacations a year, and I'll be able to save extra into my 401k so that when I get too old to work, I can retire with dignity and live the rest of my years in peace. That's what they said, so I believed them. And I went off to college and got me a 4-year degree. My mom told me to go. All of my friends went, so I went, did the whole dorm room experience, everything. Graduated 4 years later with a bachelor's degree. Cost me $40,000. Moved back home. 6 months after graduation, I got my first full-time job with benefits towards my degree. Oh my God, I was so excited. I was 23 years old, and they were offering me $60,000 a year. Now, granted, this was before COVID, okay? So this is before inflation. I was only 23 years old. I didn't have any kids. I thought I was about to be rich. That was more money than I had ever made because I was used to fast food jobs. So McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, that's what I came from. So to get this type of job, oh man, I thought I was about to be rich. So I decided to move out of my mom's house. I was sick of her rules. I was ready to be a grown woman and do grown woman things. So I went out and got my own apartment. Didn't stop there. I had bad spending habits back in the day. We listen, we don't judge. I decided to elevate my life and do what most Americans do. I went out and got me a car payment. See, I already had a car and my car was paid off. Title in hand. It got me from point A, B, C, D, E, and F. But it was old. No push to start. No leather seats. No tablet on the dash. See, I had to upgrade to match my new upgraded life. And even though my mom and my grandma told me not to do it, me being 23, I'm like, oh, what do they know? So I did it. I went out and got me a brand new Dodge Charger. Top of the line. Couldn't tell me shit in my Charger. I thought I was too cute. That Charger was $450 a month. And we all know, with expensive cars comes expensive car insurance and expensive gas. By the time I paid all my bills for the month, your girl was broke. I was every syllable of the word broke. There were no vacations. I couldn't afford it. I could not afford to put extra into my 401k plan. I was living paycheck to paycheck, robbing Patrice to pay Paula. That was my life. Broke. I had another problem. I had to start paying back them damn student loans. See, I was 23 back then. I didn't think the government was serious about getting their money back for some student loans. I thought that was the American way. Everybody has student loans, right? Who takes those seriously? You better. The government is not playing with you when it comes to them student loans. See, they'll give you 6 months after you graduate to get on your feet, okay? They won't call, they won't send letters. They just want you to focus on getting a job. But best believe when that 6-month mark hits, they are sending letters to your house because they're going to tell you how much you can afford. They want to see them tax returns. And since they saw on paper that I made $60,000 a year, I didn't have any dependents, no kids, they said I should be able to afford $400 a month. I was like, $400. What happened to the income redriven program? My friends are only paying $50. Why am I paying $400? Because I made too much. They go off your income. They don't care how much your rent is. They don't care what your car payment is. They don't give a damn. They're going off of your income. That's the problem with being middle class. See, when you're middle class, you don't qualify for shit. You're actually more broke than poor people because you don't get any type of assistance. I had 11 student loan accounts that they lumped under one monthly payment of $400 a month. Every month that I did not pay those student loans, which was every month because I really couldn't afford it, I got 11 missed payments on my credit. In the course of 1 year, I can't make this up, I racked up 121 missed payments. My credit dropped. 520. So there goes my American dreams of home ownership. Who's gonna give me a mortgage loan with a 520 credit score? Nobody. Not till I fix that. I had another problem. So I'm broke. I got really bad credit. One last problem. I hated my job. Nowhere in that American dream blueprint did they tell me I would be miserable at my 9 to 5. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I was very naive in my early 20s. I grew up very sheltered, okay? And I believed people when they told me things. I didn't think people were out here lying, okay? I didn't know. And so when I went into my interview, my manager told me, even though the department was all women, they all got along. And there was no cattiness, no drama, and everyone was just one big old happy work family. And so I went into the department believing that because I'm like, why would anyone lie? I learned that in corporate America, those are not your friends. I had no clue. See, you gotta watch them because they're fake. So what they'll do is they'll sit with you in the break room and they'll kiki and caca with you. They don't like you. Don't get confused. They will even hang out with you off the clock. So they're not even getting paid to be around you. But instead of them being with their family, they still choose to hang out with you. And they'll invite you to happy hour. They'll invite you to their baby showers and their weddings. They will even invite you to their house. But you gotta watch them because they don't like you. Don't get confused. They will even spend their hard-earned money on you. So when it's Christmas, they will all spend their money and buy you a gift. They will even bring meals for the Thanksgiving potluck. And we'll all just sit at a table and sing Kumbaya. But they don't like you. Don't get confused. And the minute you piss off the wrong one, they will do everything in their power to make every single day that you work there a living hell. I had no clue what I was walking into. I had made friends with a woman who was 31 years old. I was 23, and we did everything together. Even off the clock, we did everything together. She told me I was the little sister she never had, and I believed her. And the minute we were both trying to get promoted for the same position, she decided to tell my manager everything that I told her in confidence, and I was on the most hated list at work. It was my fault. I walked right into it. Didn't know. Live and you learn. I was miserable at that job. I must have put in hundreds, if not thousands of applications trying to get a new job. But no one was calling me back. I couldn't even get an interview. So I'm broke. I have really bad credit and I hate my job. For the first time in my life at 23 years old, I felt trapped. If you've never experienced what it feels like to feel trapped, consider yourself blessed. I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. But let me give you some context. See, trapped feels like no matter what you do, your life's not gonna get no better. That's how trapped feels. You can try to be positive and optimistic all you want, but it feels like nothing but negative ass shit from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed every single day. That's trapped. You could try to work some overtime, get a part-time job so you can catch up on some bills and stop being so stressed about money. But just when you start to have a little bit of a savings account, a couple $100, something always comes and slaps you in the face. Now your car won't start. Now you gotta dish out money for that. You could try to pray about it, but it begins to feel like God is ignoring you because you still wake up with the same problems and it feels like he's not fixing it. Your life begins to feel like a nightmare that you can't wake up from. That's trapped. And I lived like that for 6 years. You know, I used to pull up at that job. I would sit in my car and cry before I even clocked in. I started to bring that job home with me. You ever did that before? So what that means is you have clocked out. You are at home. You should be enjoying time with your family, but you can't because these people have stolen your peace and they are living in your head rent-free. And now you are telling your spouse all of the toxic things they are doing to you in the office. You can't escape them. They are living in your head. I used to be so stressed out about bills I couldn't sleep anymore. I started to have anxiety. Butterflies in your stomach that you can't get rid of, panic attacks. I started to feel like they were coming to fire me. That's how I went into that job every day, like it was gonna be my last day. And to cope with all that anxiety and that depression and that misery, I started drinking. First, it was just a few drinks a week to calm my nerves, but it quickly spiraled out of control. And I became an alcoholic. And the only reason why I'm telling you any of this is because if any of my story is resonating with you, then you are already doing something hard. Going to a job that drains your spirit is hard. Crying every day because you are so unhappy right now is hard. And see, the reason why I was so depressed back then was because I had nothing in my life to look forward to. Back then I didn't have any hobbies and I didn't have any interests. So my life began to feel like it was on repeat. Get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, cry, drink, sleep, repeat. Week after week, month after month, and year after year. For the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me because I was depressed about my life. There was nothing wrong with me. Anybody would be depressed. Ladies, there's nothing wrong with you. Yes, it is depressing. But now I get to wake up every day doing what I love. And that's the beauty with online businesses is you can monetize anything. There is nothing that is stupid. There is nothing that is too far-fetched. You can literally monetize anything that you want, whatever your heart desires. And I don't have to convince you of this because you can see it for yourself. How many times do you scroll on your For You page and see the darndest things and you're sitting there scratching your head trying to figure out how the hell are they getting paid to do that? I'm gonna tell you how. You wanna know how? Because they decided to let go of fear. And you decide to keep holding on to it. That's how. And I want to say one more thing before we move forward, because I need to make sure you hear me loud and clear. I hope you realize that if you work 40 hours a week or more, you spend more time at work with people you don't even like than you do with your family who loves you. I literally worked 9 to 5. So what should have only been a 20-minute drive into the city is over an hour because I'm stuck in rush hour traffic. So an hour to work, an hour back. That's 2 hours in the car. 8 hours at work, 1 hour lunch break. That is 11 hours out of my day gone forever. You only get a few hours to spend with your spouse or your children before it's time to put everyone to bed, just to repeat it again the next day. But let me remind you of this. Your family, they don't even get the best version of you. They don't get the happy version of you. They don't get the stress-free version of you. They don't get the peaceful version of you. No, they don't. They get the depressed version of you. They get the anxious version of you. They get the stressed version of you. You put everyone to bed, just to repeat it again the next day, just to look forward to the weekend. But respectfully, what the hell are you even looking forward to? Because Friday, you still worked. Saturday is the only day that you get to do what you love. Sunday, not so much, no? Because you have to prepare for the work week, right? So you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to go to the grocery store, you have to do laundry, and then you have to mentally prepare yourself for the bullshit sitting on your desk come Monday. Ladies, that's not living. That is surviving. Life is meant to be lived, not survived. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I do know this. The God that I serve, he loves me. Can't convince me otherwise. And if he loves me so much, why would he put me on this earth to be hating the very life that he blessed me with? If he loves me so much, why would he want me crying and being miserable and coping by drinking? He didn't want that for me. That's not why he put me here. He put me here for a very special reason, and he allowed me the opportunity to find it, and my online business allowed me the opportunity to monetize it. And he put you here for a very special reason too. There is something very, very special about you too. Your life is worth more than bills. Your life is worth more than slaving away at a job, trying to make someone else rich while you're counting pennies trying to make ends meet at home. There is something special about you too. And the problem is, life has a tendency to life. And somewhere on our path of life, we lose our light. It gets dim. And then it gets dark. Maybe it was a toxic relationship. Maybe it was toxic friendships, toxic family, toxic job. Something happened, and it stole your light from you. And now you're sitting here believing that there's nothing special about you. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. There is something very special about you too. And you can do this. If you even thought the thought, that's because you can. See, those ideas that we get when our intuition is saying, you should try this today, or do it like this, launch this, that's God talking to you. That is God telling you, you should try this. He wouldn't have even let it get into your head if it wasn't something you could do. It wouldn't have even crossed your mind, but it crossed your mind because you can. But in order to actually get it done, in order to really do it, you are gonna have to let go of the fear. You are gonna have to. That is the only way, because fear is stealing your dream life from you. You can do this. You can. But stop letting fear take it from you. Okay? All right. Sales tip number 2. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business. If I'm saying anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. Also, you guys, make sure you follow me so you don't lose me. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. Helping others, being at service by creating value for yourself. Yes is what leads you to having a great life. Absolutely. Amen. There is something that you're really, really good at. There's something that you overcame in your life, and that's what you could be monetizing. One of my students, she was in a narcissistic relationship for 10 years. She married him, they had children together, and then he discarded her. And she literally had to rebuild her life. But she had been with them for so long, more than half of her life. And so her journey was finding herself, trying to figure out who she is outside of that narcissistic relationship. And now she has a huge following, teaching other women how to heal, how to find themselves after toxic relationships, signs to look out for. All because that was her story and she learned from it. And now she's monetizing it. She has a whole paid community helping women find themselves. And she has so much peace now. She has so much freedom now because she gets to help people. I can't make this up. Whatever you went through, whatever you're good at, whatever you overcame, that's what you could be monetizing today. There are so many people who need you, but you keep holding on to the fear. I can't make this up. Okay? All right. Sales tip number 2, make sure you guys write this down. People only buy from people that they like, that they know, and that they trust. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So if they don't like you, not gonna buy it. If they don't know you, not gonna buy it. And if they don't trust you, not going to buy. So how do we get people to like us? Okay, we're gonna do this through our content. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, we said content is anything that you upload to social. So pictures, reels, if you go live, long form YouTube videos, all of that is content. And that's how we're gonna get the word out about our products and services, is through our content. In your content, you guys, I need you to be relatable and I need you to be authentic. In other words, I need you to be yourself. You gotta be yourself. Ladies, people connect with people through emotions. Some of you guys are doing yourself a disservice because you're trying to make your content perfect, but you fail to realize that you're not perfect and no one is perfect. So then it's hard for people to relate to you because they're not perfect. I need you to just be yourself. I need you to just be yourself, okay? And don't let fear take over and say, well, what if no one likes me? That's impossible. That's impossible because there are 8 billion people in this world. Somebody is bound to like you. And I used to be fearful of that too. Ladies, when you post your content, it goes everywhere. You become international. People all over the world are able to tune in and watch. The internet is what connects everybody. And I'm not telling you that to scare you. I'm just telling you that so you can realize how silly you sound when you say things like, people won't like me. There is a whole world outside of your community of people who truly need you. You have the very solution to their problem, but you're depriving them of that solution because you won't get out your head and post your videos. You guys, I have women inside of Globe Academy from all over the place. I'm in the US. I have women inside of there from Germany, Australia, Jamaica, Canada, Barbados, the UK. I have been to none of those countries, but I was able to help somebody, all because I decided to let go of fear and just be myself and share my story. So please post your videos. You would be surprised at how many people you are able to inspire and motivate and help. I can't make this up. Okay? All right. We said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to know us? Okay. I need you to go live. And yes, you can go live and be faceless. Listen, everything that we are talking about this morning also applies to my faceless creators. Don't you dare think you're getting out of any of this. No, you're not. Going live is the best way to build your community. Now, is it the only way? No, but it is the best way. How? Because it allows people to get a sense of your energy and your vibes. It allows people to connect with you. It allows people to engage and interact, and it allows you to promote your products. Thank you, Coach Alyssa. Now, some of y'all hard-headed as hell, and you're gonna say, that's great, Jazz, but I don't wanna go live. And I'm gonna just say, fine, don't. I told you, I'm not gonna try to convince you to do anything you don't wanna do. If you don't wanna go live, then don't. But I do wanna remind you that you also said you didn't wanna go to work. That's what you said. You said you hated there. You said you were tired of feeling overworked and underpaid. It amazes me how many people are willing to bust their ass at their job to make someone else rich and to build someone else's business. But they absolutely refuse to spend 30 minutes a day building wealth for themselves. That doesn't even make any sense. You see people, especially on TikTok, all hours of the day and nights, on live, selling their products. You see it for yourself. I don't have to convince you of that. And I do promise you this, if you go live consistently and you have structure with your live, you will make more on live than you ever made at that job. Now, some of y'all are like, well, Jazz, I would go live. I'm not against it. I'm just a little live shy. Okay. For my ladies on here who are live shy, camera shy, or struggle with any type of shyness, doesn't matter. Listen, the only reason why you're shy at that thing is just because you don't have enough experience doing it, okay? Maybe you did it once 6 months ago, but you haven't done it since. You didn't do it consistently. Anything that you do over and over and over again, you get better at, okay? We have been on this live for 111 minutes. And if you're still here, that lets me know that you trust what I'm saying to be true. Because one thing about humans, if they don't believe in what you're talking about, you would have left, but you're still here. So I need you to go ahead and trust this. If you go live consistently, I promise you, you will get to a point where you are no longer live shy. I cannot make this up, but you have to just keep doing it. You don't have a choice. Everything that you do over and over again, you get better at. And I don't have to convince you, you have proof in your own life. You did not always know how to walk. Now you walk just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You didn't always know how to read and write, but you do that just fine. How? Because you had to consistently do it. You did not always know how to drive. You did not always know how to do your job, but you do those things just fine now. How? Because you had to consistently do it. So just imagine what would happen if you consistently went live. Exactly. Please go live. Now we say people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to trust us? All right. There's a reason why I'm telling you to post consistently. And no, it is not for your health. The reason why I'm telling you to post consistently is because the more people see you, the more they begin to trust you. Consistency builds trust. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're living under a rock somewhere, but most people work extremely hard for their money. You work hard, I work hard, we're all out here working hard. And if you want someone to trust you with their hard-earned money, well, then you are going to have to be trustworthy, which means you have to be consistent. You don't have a choice. Now, I want to do an exercise with you guys. For those of you guys who do not have a product yet, sit this out, take your notes. For those of you guys who do have a product, but you're struggling to make the sales that you want, this is for you. Okay. First, what we're going to do, we got to remove the ego and the pride. Now, some of y'all can't do that because you think you know everything. And there's nothing that anyone can teach you that you don't already know, and you're perfect as is. Fine. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. Just know pride always comes before the fall. Now, for those of y'all who can remove ego and pride and you recognize that there's always room for growth and improvement, I'm speaking to you. We're going to go to your profile and we're going to ask ourselves some questions. We got to be honest. Please write this down. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Now, ask yourself this. Is it clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people? I also need you to ask yourself this. You got to be honest. If you were not you, would you buy from you? If you were not you, would you buy from you? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then you should no longer be confused as to why people are not buying from you yet. There should be no more confusion. But the reason why I'm saying yet is because you can fix it. You have the power to fix it. So fix it. Make it clear who you are, what you do, how you can help people, so that when people go to your profile, they already know what they can expect from you. Ladies, that is the beauty of life, and that is the beauty of business, and that is the beauty of everything that we have talked about so far on this live. Anything, and I literally mean anything, do not overthink, that is not giving you the results that you want. You have the power to fix it. But I'm going to be real with you. You make the choice not to. You make the choice not to. I already know. I've already accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. I have accepted the fact that I am not the business coach for everybody. Because as bizarre as this may sound, most people are not really looking for help. No. Most people are just looking for someone that they can complain to and that they can vent to. But the minute you give them the solution to the problem that they have, they check out because they weren't really looking to change their life. I'm not here for that shit, like at all. I am only here to help the woman who actually wants to change. But in order to change, I have to make you aware of what you're doing so that now we can change it. So I'm about to tell you the truth about yourself. Thank you, Sharon, but the truth will set you free. And I'm saying it with love. But I need you to recognize what you are doing and the role that you are playing in your life. See, anything that's not giving you the results that you want, you have the power to fix it. Literally anything. But you make the choice not to. Every day you have a choice. Every single day you have a choice. You can choose to keep doing what you've been doing, or you can choose to do something different. And most of you choose to keep doing what you've been doing because that's your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is what you're familiar with. It's the habits and the routines that you have every single day. So scrolling on social media, talking to people who disrespect you, wasting your time watching movies. Some of you like to gamble. These are the things that you do. This is your comfort zone. And that comfort zone is draining you. Let's just be real. Are you happy? Are you reaching your goals? Do you feel fulfilled? Are you genuinely happy with your life? When your alarm goes off, are you excited to start your day, or are you dragging out of the bed? That's your comfort zone. And even though that comfort zone is draining you, it is stressing you, it's causing you resentment for others, it is making you anxious, it is keeping you broke, you still make the choice to stay in that comfort zone than to do something just a little bit different, to take a half an inch out and do something different today than you did yesterday. That's what you choose to do every single day. And then you have the audacity to complain. Make it make sense. See, A lot of us live in a trapped mindset. And you have been living in this trapped mindset for so long that you don't recognize that you're living in a trapped mindset. And you really believe deep down in your soul that there is nothing you can do to make your life better. And then what's even crazier is you hang out with other people who have trapped mindsets. See, we attract what we are. We attract what we are. And if you live in a trapped mindset, you have other people around you who also live in a trapped mindset. So it's just a whole bunch of trapped mindset people talking to each other. Nothing's getting accomplished there. It's the blind leading the blind. That's just the truth. But I am here to tell you, you are not trapped at all. You always have options. They may not be the most ideal option, but you have options. You have choices. But you choose to stay in that comfort zone of yours, then do something a little bit different. And listen, I used to live in a trapped mindset too. I really used to believe that I was trapped at that 9 to 5. I believed it with all of my soul. And I really believed that there was nothing I could do to get out. And then I had trapped mindset friends who were giving me a whole bunch of trapped mindset advice. But I'm here to tell you, I was not trapped at that job. I had options. See, I could have quit my job and just moved back home. I had that option. If I needed to get my shit together, still to this day, I could move back home. Now, is it something I would want to do? No, because that's going to require me to move back in with my mom. Oh, God. Who wants to do that? But I had that option. I didn't have to stay at that job. I could have moved back home. But I chose every single day to stay miserable. Even though that job was depressing me, even though that job was making me miserable, even though I was crying and stressed about all these bills, I still made the choice to stay in what was most familiar, even though that familiarity was depressing me. I could have quit that full-time job and just got me some part-time jobs at McDonald's. I could have got me some fast food jobs. That's what I came from. That's what I knew. I could have got me a retail job. Yeah, it would have sucked, but I had that option. I was not trapped there. But if I quit my job and go back to fast food, oh God, what if I have to work weekends again? Oh, no. What if I have to work nights? Oh, no. What if I have to work holidays? Oh, no. See, I gotta have Columbus Day off. That is the new standard. I can't work Christmas. I can't work Thanksgiving. No. What? So let me get this straight. Even though this job that is 9 to 5 with weekends and holidays off is making me miserable and is keeping me depressed, I would rather stay in misery than take a half an inch out and go work at McDonald's, even if it's temporary, even if it's not ideal. It's only temporary, but I would still rather do that than to do something a little bit different. Do you know how crazy that sounds? Because my 9 to 5 was my new comfort zone. Being miserable was my comfort zone. Being depressed was my new comfort zone. Even though it was causing me to lose sleep, even though I was drinking because I was so stressed, that was my new comfort zone. And I didn't even want to take a half an inch out. So you know what I did? Every single day I would cry, I would complain, I would vent, I would throw pity parties for myself. I was doing all of the things except the one thing that would have changed my entire life, which was leave the job. I was never trapped at that job. You are not trapped. And whatever options you have, they may not be the most fun, but it's only temporary to get you to the next point in your life. But you would still rather stay in your comfort zone and stay miserable than to take a half an inch out and do something a little bit different. Make it make sense. It makes no sense. You are doing this to yourself. You are not trapped. Some of you guys think that you just don't have enough information. And you have convinced yourself that if you just watch more TikTok lives, and if you just watch more YouTube videos, and if you just archive more reels, and if you just ask ChatGPT more questions, then you will get more information, and then you can fix your problems later. But I am here to tell you, you are not lacking information. Let's just be honest. A lot of you have more information than you even know what to do with. You have watched all of the TikTok coaches. Some of y'all have already bought course after course and they did shit with the course. Let's just be real. Some of you guys have watched YouTube video after YouTube video. Some of you guys have already archived reel after reel. You have asked ChatGPT over 2,000 questions. You have all the information that you need. You are not lacking information. You are lacking implementation, meaning you don't execute shit, which is why I made the key word of this live execution, because you are not doing that. You are the woman who talks about what she's going to do, but you don't just do it. You are the woman who has excuse after excuse as to why it can't get done. You are the woman who continues to distract herself instead of locking in for 30 minutes a day and getting to your goals. You are the woman who talks about what you're not good at, what's not going to work for you. You are the woman who throws pity party after pity party. You complain and you vent to anyone who will listen. You do everything except the one thing that will change your entire life, which is start. You have yet to start. You are not executing anything that you have learned. That is going to have to change. You are going to have to change. There are things about you that do not align with the version of you that you want to become. I'm going to assume that you want to be the version of yourself who is confident, who follows through with the promises that she makes to herself, who loves herself and knows how to prioritize herself in her own life. You want to be that woman who's running her business and not caring what people think. You want to be the woman who's actually getting stuff done. Well, in order to become that woman, you're going to have to change who you are, because who you are today does not align with that. See, the version of you that you want to become, she's already within you. She's already there, but she's buried under the excuses. She's buried under the distractions. She's buried under the fear that you refuse to let go of. She's buried under the limiting beliefs. And until you change those things about you, you will never become your higher version. That is the truth. You can. She's within you. She's waiting to blossom. But you have to change. You gotta change. You are holding yourself back. One thing I've noticed about people today is we have become extremely entitled. The entitlement is at an all-time high. And you have had an entitled mindset for so long, you didn't even recognize how entitled you have become. See, a lot of people think children are entitled. Yeah, but adults are extremely entitled too. And you have convinced yourself with your soul that you are entitled to time. And you really believe that if you don't start today, you always have tomorrow. And if you don't start tomorrow, you always have next month. And if you don't start next month, you always have next year. You really believe that. But I'm confused as hell, because the last time I checked, tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. How do you know that you'll be here in 6 months? Who told you that? How do you know that you'll be here in 5 years. Who told you that? I'm just curious. You don't know when will be your last day. That's just the truth. And instead of you living every day that you are blessed with to the fullest, doing what makes you happy, only pouring into people who truly love and value you and who respect you, you make the choice to spend the time that you are blessed with distractions that don't make you better, with people who tear you down and call you names and disrespect you. You choose to spend your time watching celebrities live their life while you're not living yours. Why? Why? You do not have as much time as you think you do. And one day, I don't know when, you will run out of time. That is the truth. Time is your most valuable, precious asset. See, some of y'all think it's money, and you are sadly mistaken. I used to think it was money too. It is not money. It is not money. You could lose $500 today. Yeah, it would suck. Yeah, it would piss you off. Of course, I would be mad too. But guess what? You could always make 500 more. Yeah, it might take you a little while, sure. But you could still make it again. But when you lose your time, when you waste your time, you don't get not 1 second of that back. It is gone forever. 2025 came and left. And you can't get any of that time that you wasted back. Time is your most valuable asset. And you should be guarding your time with your life. And I don't have to convince you of this. Time is moving quickly. Be honest. Be honest. Time is just flying by, isn't it? I don't have to convince you. Let me ask you, be honest. How many times a day do you look at the clock and say to yourself, wow, I cannot believe it is 7:53 a.m. Wow, I cannot believe it is March 2026. It feels like it was just New Year's last week. Wow. I cannot believe I am 35 years old. Or insert blank. Insert your age there. If you're anything like me, you do that every day. So you already see for yourself how quickly time is moving. And you still make the choice to waste your precious, valuable time. That's going to have to change. You are going to have to start being more intentional with your time. You are going to have to start turning these apps off and locking in on the vision that you have with the life that you are blessed with. You are going to have to change. You are not entitled to time. One of the toughest pills I had to swallow, reality pills I had to swallow. This is tough, so brace yourself. Your life and the direction it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. Your life and the direction it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. So for those of you guys struggling financially, your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. When I heard that, my ego shattered. Because for the longest time, the reason why I thought I was paycheck to paycheck was just because I didn't make enough money. And I had convinced myself that if I just made more money, that whole paycheck to paycheck lifestyle would just disappear. Wrong. The reason why I was living paycheck to paycheck was because I was living above my means. Now that's some truth for you. I was buying cars I couldn't afford. I was living in apartments I couldn't afford. And the reason why I was robbing Patrice to pay Paula was because I had put myself in a lifestyle I couldn't afford. And those were all choices that I made. Now, some of y'all might be like, Jazz, I hear you. And people do live above their means. I'm not that person. I have done the math. And honestly, I just cannot afford to be alive. How can I get ahead when rent prices and gas prices and food prices are the way that it is? That's not my fault. I hear you. Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you made. Let's be real. You could have launched that ebook 6 months ago. You would be making sales today. You could have started that YouTube channel 4 months ago. It would be monetized today. You could have started that TikTok account last month. You would be building your community today. And what did we say our community was? Our viewers, our followers, our subscribers, our commenters. Our community is the people who are going to buy our products. But every day, you make the choice not to. You choose to complain. You choose to vent. You choose to throw pity parties for yourself. You choose to talk about what's not fair. You choose to talk about what's not going to work for you. You choose to distract yourself. You choose to make excuses and procrastinate. You choose to do all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life, which is start. You are going to have to start. And you are going to have to change, because who you are today does not align with who you want to become. So many people fail to realize that entrepreneurship, business ownership is also self-development. I can't make this up. Everybody wants to leave that part out because that's not the lucrative part. People don't want to talk about, oh, I got to develop. No, people want to talk about the luxury vacations. People want to talk about the luxury handbags. People want to talk about the cars. They want to talk about the houses. They want to talk about the freedom. But they don't want to talk about how you had to change who you were to get all of those things. Nobody wants to talk about that. And then you sit here and you buy these courses and you watch these YouTube videos, failing to realize that you still have to self-develop. You have to put yourself first. You cannot have the business making all this money if you refuse to set aside 30 minutes to work on something for you. You cannot have the business making all this money if you refuse to let go of toxic people who are draining you. You cannot have the business and be the content creator that you want to be if you do not stop caring what people think. That has to change. You cannot have that if you don't change. It's not going to work. You can buy all the courses you want. Some of y'all already have, but you haven't changed you. You haven't changed your thought process. You haven't changed getting off of these apps. You have become addicted to scrolling, and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. And these apps do it for a reason. They know what's going to keep you on here, and they do it every day. Let me tell you this. Your most successful entrepreneurs are not scrolling Instagram all day. I promise you that. Your most successful entrepreneurs are not watching YouTube videos all day. I promise you that. Your most successful entrepreneurs are not bouncing from one TikTok live to the next. I promise you that. They are building their business because they self-developed. There are things about you that do not align with who you want to become. You are gonna have to get off these apps. Listen, I'm not perfect at all. The version of me that y'all see today is a direct reflection of all of the changes that I had to make in my own life. I am nothing like who I used to be, not even close. Complete 180. I told you guys, I used to be 100 pounds overweight. And for years, I would yo-yo diet. So I would lose 20, gain 30, lose 50, gain 75. Year after year, I could never keep the weight off. And I used to have all these excuses. Oh, my metabolism's slow. Oh, it's my thyroid. It's this, it's that. I never wanted to look at self. I never wanted to look at the role I was playing in my own health problems. But I told y'all the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I had to realize, obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Because if I did, I would be able to lose the weight and keep it off. So I decided to do something different. I decided to hire a personal trainer. Best decision I ever made in my entire life. Not only did I lose 100 pounds that go around, I have kept it off for almost 4 years. How was I able to do that? Because I finally got around someone who knew something that I didn't know. That's number one. My whole family's obese. I told you guys, we attract people and who we are. You attract what you are. How was I gonna live a non-obese life if everyone I'm around is obese? I'm not. My personal trainer was the first person in my life who prioritized his health and set aside time to exercise, regardless of what was going on in his life. And that rubbed off on me. He's still my personal trainer to this day. I used to be full of excuses. I used to procrastinate. My motto was, why do today what I can put off till tomorrow? In other words, I'll just start later. And later never showed up. I used to be my biggest bully. The things I used to say to myself was absolutely disgusting. You know, I used to call myself stupid every day. Let me ask you, how was I gonna be a successful entrepreneur? How was I gonna be a successful content creator when I keep calling myself stupid? I wasn't. Ladies, your internal world is a reflection of your external world. If you talk to yourself crazy, I know you got people in your real life who talk to you even crazier. If you got chaos going on in your mind, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell. You probably got a new breaking story every day because you got chaos going on in here. If you're disorganized mentally, I know for a fact your external world is disorganized. Your car might be cluttered, your house is cluttered, something is cluttered because that's what's going on in here. Your internal world is a reflection of your external. When you start to have peace in here, you start to have peace outside. You gotta fix your headspace. Stop talking to yourself like you don't have no sense. You are not stupid. You are not incapable. Stop saying that. If you wouldn't say that to a child, you should not be saying it to you. It is as simple as that. Start speaking to yourself with respect and watch how your life changes. I used to live in fear too. I used to be scary as hell. And notice the fears that we hold on to, these aren't even things that have actually happened. These are all worst case scenarios, what ifs. But why do we always go worst case? What if best case, you post your content, you feel better about yourself, now you want to post another video, then you post another, and now you're building your community, now you're making sales. What if that? What if you cut off the toxic people in your life and you start to feel better about yourself and now you don't have people draining you? What if you stuck to the plan and not the mood? What if you really do build your business and you are making money doing the things that you love? Why is it always worst case scenario? Make it make sense. I used to distract myself too. One of the biggest distractions that I struggled with in my own journey was alcohol abuse. And I told you I started that toxic ass habit when I had that toxic ass job. And you would have thought that once I quit the job, well, the alcohol problem would just go away. Girl, no. Let me tell you this. Your problems don't just go away. They don't just disappear out of thin air. Your problems get worse until you make the choice to fix it. Year after year, I was getting bigger and bigger until I made the choice to fix it. My alcohol problem just got worse. See, at least when I was at work, I couldn't be drunk for 8 hours because I had to work. But I quit my job during COVID. Everything was shut down. I had nothing but time to drink. So I took full advantage. See, I quit my job on a whim. I didn't have any money saved up. I just bought a house 6 months prior, but I was getting tired of being there. I've been there for 6 years. I was turning 30 in a few months. I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I quit. I believe God told me, Jazz, quit now, quit now, quit now. I kept feeling that inside, so I just quit. Put in my 2-week notice, and I was out the door. And my plan was I was going to live off of my stimulus for a few months while I built my business, and then my business would take over from there. Now, granted, I didn't have much stimulus in the first place. Okay, I don't have any kids. I only had about $2,000 to my name. That wasn't going to get me far because my mortgage was $1,900. So the math was not mathing, but I didn't care anymore. I just had to get out of there. So I'm at home trying to make all this stuff make sense. I'm watching YouTube videos, TikTok lives, I'm saving the reels, platforms, algorithms, digital products, monetizations. I told you guys, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. See, I lied to myself and convinced myself that I was doing everything I'm supposed to do, but in fact I wasn't because I was always drunk, okay? I was not posting every day. I was not going live. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I was always drunk, distracting myself, and I wasn't making sales. I'm getting pissed off and I'm getting stressed because I'm running out of money. I had a lot of ego back then. I had a lot of pride. So it was never my fault for why I was where I was. It was always someone else's fault or something else's fault. So in this case, it's YouTube's fault. How can I grow my business if YouTube doesn't like me? How can I build my community if Instagram doesn't like me? Because it's not Jasmine. I'm not the problem. It's other people. Duh. Then I'm getting mad at God because I'm like, God, you told me to quit. You told me the time is now, and I'm running out of money. I already made a payment arrangement with my lights. My light bill was $700. And if I didn't pay the full amount on the date that was set, they were cutting them off. There was no arrangement. There was no more arrangements to be made. I already missed one mortgage payment. If I missed another, they were going to start trying to foreclose on a house I hadn't even been in yet for a whole year. I'm stressed and I'm pissed, but I didn't want to admit to myself that it's my fault. I didn't want to say to myself that I have a drinking problem. I didn't want to say that out loud. The embarrassment I would feel, the shame and the guilt. Oh God, no. My ego couldn't handle that. No. So I just continued to lie to myself some more. I convinced myself that as long as I didn't drink before 11 a.m., I'm not an alcoholic. Because see, in my mind, alcoholics, they start their day with alcohol. So as long as I wait till after 11 a.m., even though I drink all day, every day, as long as I don't start my day with alcohol, then I don't have a problem. So we really don't have anything to talk about. What? I can't make this up. The worst lies are the lies that you tell yourself. But you get to a point where you can't keep lying, or you can't keep running from you. Eventually, you're going to hit a brick wall. And eventually, God is going to force you to listen. See, I believe God is within you. He's not outside of you. He's within you. Everything you need is within you. So those ideas that you get, that's God talking to you. That feeling that you get where something is saying, hey, try it like this. Or don't do that today. How about you post this today? What if you made a business doing this? That's God talking to you. That intuition, that gut feeling that you get, that is God talking to you. He's trying to warn you. Notice you always run into problems when you look outside of you for the answers. But a lot of times we don't really want to hear from God. Let's just be real. Actions always speak louder than words. You say you do. It sounds good in conversation. It sounds good on paper. But what do your actions show? Because it's giving you don't really want to listen to God. If you did, let me ask you, how many ideas did God give you in 2025 that you didn't even try? Because you just made up a reason as to why it wouldn't work. If that's not true, let me ask you, how many times, and be honest, did you go against your gut feeling just to find out later that you were right? We never want to listen to God. So we'll distract ourselves to avoid listening. Because deep down inside, you know what you're supposed to be doing. But eventually, He's going to make you listen. And I'll never forget, I was sitting on my bed crying, stressed. I was like, I'm about to lose my house. God, I don't have it. I don't have the money. They're going to take my house. I don't know what to do. And God said, Jazz, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have been begging me for business for years, which is true. I had been. He said, the opportunity is right in front of you and you're wasting it. So what are we going to do? Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing, which is a whole bunch of nothing? Or are you going to do something a little bit different today? Are you going to change? I decided to change. I decided to stop drinking. I haven't had a drink in almost 5 years. I will never touch alcohol again. And since I decided to change, my whole life began to change. I started posting consistently. My platform started growing. I started making sales. All because I decided to change. I started to feel good about myself for the first time in my whole life because I'm actually reaching the goals that I had. Now I'm saying nice things to myself, like, I'm amazing. I can do this. I really am smart. Wow, Jazz, I'm proud of you. That's how I'm talking to myself. Never used to talk to myself like that. For the first time in my life, I started to have confidence in myself. All because I decided to change who I was. See, a lot of times people don't realize, and I didn't realize this back then too, in order to get something, you got to give up something. In order to get something, you have to give something up. You cannot have both. Back to weight loss. In order for me to lose 100 pounds, I had to give up fast food. I had to give up soda. In order for me to get the business that I had been begging God for years, I had to give up excuses. I had to give up procrastination. I had to give up negative self-talk. I had to give up distractions. I had to give up alcohol. But when I gave those things up, God opened the floodgates of heaven for me. He gave me everything I asked for and more, all because I decided to change. See, I had just asked God to help me make $60,000 a year to replace the job I had. And I even started negotiating that. I said, Lord, if you could help me make $45K a year, I'll cut the cable off. I'll make it work. Lord, just please help me get out of this job. Girl. God gave me 6 figures. I asked God for 1,000 Instagram followers because I don't even know 10 people. So in my mind, I'm like, shit, if I get 1,000 people, 1,000 people to follow me? What? God gave me 100,000 Instagram followers. I asked God for 5K YouTube subs. I don't know. I was like, that's a lot. God gave me 30,000 YouTube subscribers. I asked God for just a little bit of confidence so I could stop crying all the time and feeling sorry for myself. God gave me a lot of confidence. There's nothing I don't think I can't do. I keep all of the promises I made to myself. I can't even remember the last time I cried. See, a lot of times we delay our own blessings because we already told him what we wanted. He heard us loud and clear 50,000 times. He heard you and he knows. And he's ready to give you everything you asked for and more on a silver platter. But the problem is, he gives us free will. So in other words, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. He's not going to stop you. So if you want to waste 5 more years, he will let you. If you want to waste 20 years, he will let you. Mm-hmm. Some people never get all of their blessings because he's not going to give you what you want until you change, until you become obedient, and until you listen. And a lot of people never change. So they stay in that cycle over and over again until the day they die. But when you change, he gives you everything. Everything. And sure, maybe change is hard. Maybe you're right. Maybe change is hard. Okay, fine. Fine. But the life that you're living is hard. Crying every day because you are so unhappy with the way things are going right now is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Knowing deep down in your soul that you are meant for more and not even living it is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Going to a job that drains your spirit, steals your energy every single day, that's hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. I've lived both hards. I've done both. And I will always choose this hard. Because at least this hard comes with peace. You can't even put a price tag on that. This hard comes with purpose. This hard comes with happiness. This hard comes with freedom. This hard comes with confidence. This hard comes with the income to live the life that you've always wanted to live. I keep telling you time and time again, if you even thought the thought, that's because you can. God would not put ideas in your head if you were not capable of it. It wouldn't even cross your mind, but it did. If you even thought about being a content creator, that's because you can. If you even thought about selling your products, that's because you can. If you even thought about starting a business, that's because you can. If you even thought about leaving that toxic ex, that toxic man, that's because you can. You have the strength to. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone of yours. That comfort zone, that's familiarity. That's the path of least resistance. That's the routines, that's the habits that you've been doing every single day for years. And with that comfort zone, I don't have to convince you, you already know, it comes with misery. It comes with stress. It comes with insecurities. It doesn't come with freedom. You don't have to keep living your life like that. You don't have to. Anything that is not giving you the results that you want, you have the power to fix it. But in order to fix it, you are going to have to change. And in order to change, you are going to have to take a half an inch out of your comfort zone and do something different today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next year, today. Time is your most valuable asset. Stop wasting your time doing things that don't even bring you peace. You're going to have to change. For those of you guys who want to change, then I want to help you. But I can only help people who want it. I can't force change upon you, and I can't convince you. If you are 1000% happy with your life and the direction it's going in, and you don't feel like there's need for any improvement, then fine, keep doing what you're doing. If you like it, I love it. If it's not broke, then don't fix it. But if you're not 1000% happy with the way things are going and you want to change it, then I want to help you. See, inside Glow Up Academy, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about building your online business. I don't care what your starting point is. Every single thing that you need to be successful with your online business is all in there. From monetizing your platforms, selling on lives, building your products, literally every single thing from the very beginning. But not only am I going to teach you how to build your online business from scratch, most importantly, I'm going to teach you how to build you. Because you are holding yourself back. Together, inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your discipline. That means you're going to stick to the plan and not the move. And I'm right there with you every single step of the way. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your confidence. So that means you're going to follow the promises that you made to yourself. And I'm going to be right there with you every single step of the way. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your consistency. So even when you don't feel like doing it, we're still going to do it. Together, inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to put you first. I don't care if you only have 30 minutes a day. We're going to figure out when those 30 minutes will be. And you're going to stick to it. You are the common denominator in your own life. And there are things about you that have to change in order to get the results that you want. Glow Up Academy is the space where not only do I teach you how to do all this stuff, building your business, monetizing your platforms, and making your online money, but we're going to build you so that you finally become the woman who not only starts, but she follows through. Now, before I let you join Glow Up Academy, a couple of things. First thing is I only let 10 people in at a time because, believe it or not everybody has the same path. Everyone's different. So some people have a product already, but they don't have an audience. Some people have an audience, but they don't have a product. Some people have a million ideas, but they're spreading themselves way too thin because they're trying to do every single idea. I told you guys earlier, money flows where energy goes. So you and I are going to pick your most one favorite idea, and we're going to build that. And then once that one is flourishing, then we'll reach back into the pile and pull out another idea. Some of you guys have no clue what kind of business you want to start. You're not too sure what you think you'd be best at, and that's fine. We'll figure it out together. And then some of you guys don't want to start a business right now. There are other things you want to work on. Maybe you want to work on weight loss. Maybe you want to work on building your confidence. Maybe you want to work on putting yourself first because you never do that. No matter where you're at in your journey, I can help you. I just noticed for myself that having more than 10 people join at one time overwhelms me because I want to make sure I'm able to pour into you the way that you deserve. Okay, so that's why I cap it at 10. And then once I reach 10, I take the link down and I don't let more members join until I'm ready to accept more. Okay? Something else too, I am going to set a timer for 10 minutes because I only want to help people who want it. I can't convince you. I can't force you. Deep down inside, you know what you want to do. And deep down inside, you know I can help you. So when the timer starts, just move. Because once that timer ends, I'm getting off and I'm hopping inside to help the women who did choose to put themselves first today. Okay? So don't overthink. Just move. All right. One last thing. Glow Up Academy is lifetime access. So once you're inside forever. Sometimes lives, right? We all go through things and you may have to take a step back at some point on your journey. And that's fine, because whenever you do decide to come back, we'll just pick up right where you left off, right? Sometimes people have things that they're going through that they got to work through. So that's why it's lifetime access. You don't have to worry about losing anything. So you always have access to all of the information I put in there every single month. You always have access to ask me any questions that you have, any feedback, advice, whatever it is. You always have access to our live coaching calls. We go live in there too, okay? So it is forever. You and I are locked in forever, all right? Because Glow Up Academy is lifetime access, it's $5.97, and people pay $5.97. It's worth every penny. However, because you sat here, you were present, you asked questions, you took notes, and most importantly, you promised you were going to execute. I'm going to take the price down, and the price will stay down for 10 minutes, okay? You can use Afterpay or Klarna, that's an option, so you can get in at the lower price and stay in forever. But once that timer goes off, we are done, and I'm taking the price back up to $5.97. Do not message me and ask me to lower it. People do that every day. No, because you chose to overthink, even though deep down inside, you knew what you wanted to do and you knew what you needed to do, okay? So don't be like them, because they end up paying $5.97. So just join, because you already know what you want to do, okay? And someone did ask, am I a life coach or a business coach? I am more of a life coach. All the business tools, everything that I use to grow my business is all inside of there. I don't gatekeep any of that. But 90% of the women who I have helped them more with building their confidence, cutting off people in their life who drain them, and putting themselves first. Because it doesn't matter what tools I give you. At the end of the day, if you do not believe that you are worthy of success, you will continue to self-sabotage. If you do not believe that you are worthy of happiness, you will continue to self-sabotage. So I spend way more time helping women up here before we even get to the business, because you can be a content creator. I think anyone can, honestly. You can't convince me that. But if you continue to care what people think, you won't post a thing. Doesn't matter how good your idea is. If you care about what people think of you, you won't post anything. So we gotta fix everything going on up here before we even get to the business. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna show you guys how to join. I'm gonna start with TikTok. YouTube, y'all's instructions are a little bit different, so just hang tight for a second. YouTube, in order for you guys to lock inside Glow Up Academy, you're gonna come to my profile. You're gonna click on my profile picture up at the top twice. Now, TikTok, number one, turn your phone into an ATM. Y'all are on my main account. This is my backup. So the profile does not look like this, but the link is still the same, okay? You're gonna click where it says stand.store. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. And I have marked it down from $5.97 to $2.49. And it will stay $2.49 for lifetime access for the next 10 minutes, okay? Scroll down, feel free to read my reviews. I do not mind. Enter your name, quadruple check your email address. This is critical, you guys. What you put in is where it's going. I need you guys, before you leave my live, to confirm that you received everything. If you did not receive it, that's because there was a spelling mistake in the email, but no worries, we'll fix it right here. So please make sure you let me know you got everything, okay? You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break the payment up, and then click this blue button that says Start My Glow Up. Within 30 seconds, you should be receiving that very first email from Stan. And then the second email is coming from me. It's gonna say Jasmine Spencer. When you get that second email, there's a yellow button inside that says Join Now. I want you to click on that and confirm to me that you see everything inside of Glow Up Academy, okay? I wanna make sure you are where you're supposed to be. YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in, your instructions are a tad bit different. You are going to leave my live. You're gonna come to my YouTube channel, and you're gonna click on this link right here that says stand.store. And same thing, become the woman who actually follows through. Same instructions, scroll down. Feel free to read my reviews, I don't mind. I have lots of women inside already enter your name, quadruple check your email address. You can use Afterpay or Klarna, and then click this blue button that says Start My Glow Up, okay? And within 30 seconds. All right. Now, once you guys are inside, once I get off of live, so let me start the timer. We're gonna do 10 minutes. The timer starts now. Okay. Once you guys are inside, as soon as I get off of this live, I hop right inside and start talking to my students. I want to know more about you. What are you struggling with? What have you tried? What are your ideas? I want to know everything so I can help you and so we can come up with a plan for you. Okay? Yes, user, I got you. TikTok. You're going to click on my profile picture up at the top twice. Come to my profile and then click this button right here that says stand.store. And it'll take you right to where you need to be, okay? Become the woman who actually follows through. Now, once you guys are inside, like I said, I want to know everything about you. There's going to be a message icon right here. Please respond to my message. Don't leave me on red. Don't leave me on red. Please respond to my message, please, because I can't help what I don't know needs helping, okay? So you may not have time to respond. Maybe you're at work or you're headed to work. But before you go to bed tonight, I want you to promise me that you're going to respond to my message so that we can create a plan for you. Ladies, everybody is different. Everyone has different responsibilities. Everybody has different things they got going on in their life. I can't help figure out when would be best for you and what we're going to start with if you don't let me know what you're struggling with and what you want to accomplish, okay? I'm here to help you, but I need you to respond to my message. So please do not forget that there's a message icon here and you will see a message from me. I'm going to send it as soon as I get off the live. All right, so I need you to respond to that so we can start executing, okay? I need to know everything about you. Some students work full time, which is fine. So then we got to figure out when's best for you, okay? Some of my students work best before they go to work. I was like that. I worked best before I went to work. Some people actually have more energy after work. Maybe their job isn't as draining as mine was. So then that's what we're going to do for you, right? Some of you guys have a product, but you're trying to build your audience. So we're going to create a plan for you. And then I check in with my students all of the time. So that's why I'm telling you, like, I need you guys to make sure you respond to my message because I'm always checking in. Are you working on what we did, what we talked about? What are you struggling with? Okay, let's scale this back. Obviously, this isn't working. Let's try something a little bit different. We're not going to stay on the same path. That's not getting us results, okay? So if we tried something and that time frame isn't working for you or this isn't working, then we're constantly switching things up so that it can work. Okay, but I don't know if you're not communicating with me and telling me, okay? So this is why I need you to respond to my message, all right? I'm sending out the second emails now for those of you guys who did join. Thank you so much. Teresa, can you check your email for me and let me know you received that second email from Jasmine Spencer? And also, make sure you guys click on that yellow button that says join now. I want to see that member count go up. That's how I know you're inside, so I can send you that message. All right, so I'm also waiting for you to do that. Teresa, please check for me. Who's next? Crystal, can you check your email for me? Teresa and Crystal and Abby. Let me send Abby's now. Abby, can you check your email for me? I'm waiting on Crystal, Abby, Teresa. Hold on, I think someone just joined inside. Okay, I just saw somebody actually join, but I still haven't seen any confirmations. Y'all, please don't leave my live till you let me know you got your email. Because sometimes y'all misspell the email, so I can't resend everything because I don't even know it's the wrong email. So please, that autocorrect will get you. It's gotten me before too. So please make sure you check that. Sometimes y'all don't put Gmail. Y'all just put mail.com. So then the email didn't go through. All right, I'm waiting for multiple people to tell me they got their email. All right, we got a few more minutes left. I have the strength to overcome any setbacks. I have the strength to overcome any setbacks. And that's why I said that earlier. It's amazing how we don't even see how resilient we really are, because nobody's life is smooth sailing. Not one person. Not one person's life is smooth sailing. Everybody has had some SHIT go down. But even though it went down, you got right back up and you kept moving. You kept moving because you're still here today. And it amazes me how you overcome all of those things, but then you doubt your ability to record a reel. The math ain't mathin'. It is not mathin'. This is why I spend so much time talking about confidence and building it. Yes, let me show you, because it really is a lack of confidence. I cannot make this up, but confidence can be built. YouTube, you're gonna leave the live. You're gonna come to my YouTube channel, and you're gonna click on this link right here that says stand.store, okay? And it'll take you right to where you need to be. Become the woman who actually follows through, okay? Scroll down. Feel free to read all of my reviews. I don't mind. Enter your name. Hold on. Enter your name and quadruple check your email address for me. And then you can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that up. And then click that blue button that says Start My Glow Up, okay? And it'll take you right there. All right, so confidence can be built. And it sucks because the society we live in tries to paint the picture, tries to paint the narrative that you shouldn't be confident. But that's not true. You should think you're the SHIT. You're supposed to think you're amazing. You're supposed to think that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Because if you don't think those things, you're not. That doesn't make you arrogant. That does not make you conceited. That does not make you a narcissist. That makes you a woman who believes in herself. And that's the only way you're gonna get this stuff done. That's the only way you're gonna get it done. You have to believe in yourself. Because if not you, then who? If not you, then who? I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. Barbara, can you check your email? Okay, perfect. I see you just joined. You're inside. Barbara. Okay, perfect, Barbara. Can you check your email for me and confirm that you see everything? Okay, perfect. You got it. Join for me. I'm checking to make sure that member count goes up too, ladies, because I want to make sure you are inside and you are exactly where you need to be. Like I said, as soon as I get off a live, we got 2 more minutes. I hop inside and I start messaging you, okay? Because I want to know more about you. So I need to make sure you are inside so that we can start the communication, okay? So do that for me. Even if you can't respond to my message right away, I need you to promise me you'll respond tonight before you go to bed, okay? Because I want us to hit the ground running. I don't want us, and that's the thing, for those of you guys who love to push things off till tomorrow, oh, I'll sign up later, but you won't though, because you never come back. This isn't something I have to convince you of. Look at things that you wanted to do that you haven't done. There's a reason why you're still on this live, and it's not because of the music. It's because you know deep down inside I can help you. But once I end this live, you're gonna slowly fall back into what you've been doing. That's habits, that's routine, that's human nature, okay? But we have to break that cycle, because if you do not break the cycle, then nothing will change, all right? Okay. Especially on TikTok, one thing I know, TikTok is a short form community. If you don't get the information in 10 seconds, people are out of there, right? Because TikTok is very, very, very fast paced, very fast paced. And the fact that you slow down the fast pace of TikTok to sit on this live, because I'm on live for about 3 hours, that lets me know that I was able to connect with you. YouTube, y'all for the long form content anyways. That's why I'm on YouTube. I love watching, listening to stuff that be several hours. That's a totally different type of audience. But TikTok, y'all are fast paced with it. Quick, quick, quick. And if I was able to get you to slow down and listen, that's because I already know you were able to connect, okay? That was our timer. I'm still waiting on Teresa to confirm she received everything. Y'all, please don't leave my live till you let me know. Hold on. Okay, she's there. right, I'm gonna show you guys one more time and we're gonna close it out. For those of you guys, TikTok, you're gonna click on my profile picture up at the top twice, come to my profile, and then click on the link that says stand.store. And don't forget TikTok #1, y'all are on my main account, the one that says turn your phone into an ATM. So it doesn't look like this, but the link is still the same, okay? And then YouTube, one last time, leave my live, you're gonna come to my channel, and then click where it says stand.store, and it'll take you right to where you need to be, okay? Here we go. Become the woman who actually follows through. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Make sure y'all follow me so you do not lose me, because they do steal my videos. They do make fake accounts and then you turn around and message you. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And YouTube, don't forget, I post videos on Monday and Wednesday for y'all to check out. For those of you guys who joined Glow Up Academy, I'm hopping in now, so y'all will see me in the next, or talk to me in the next few minutes. For those of you guys who didn't, I'm glad that you are getting the results that you want. And for those of you guys who still want to overthink and be hesitant, go ahead. When you finally do hit that wall where you recognize that what you're doing is not working, I'll be right here ready to help you, okay? Have an amazing Tuesday, and thank you guys so much, okay? Bye, YouTube.